Right, how was Neo, by the way, Light? If you're still here. That game, seriously, that game fucked me up a wall. I'm not even gonna lie. I struggled so much with that game. But it's because I didn't use any of the skills, because I didn't understand them, and shit like that. And the games where it's like, you have to constantly buff, and then there's all sorts of different status effects, and then you have to, like... I don't know, it's not my type of gameplay, if that makes any sense. Like, it's way too overcomplicated. I don't work well with games like that. But I heard it was like Dark Souls, so I wanted to give it a shot. Anyway. Everyone had heard Monokuma's proclamation, and they were gathered by the red door. And as we were all there...
Monokuma appears!
Oh yeah, this is the echoey bit where there's like two of them, like overlapped, so the dialogue repeats itself. It's funny as shit. He's multiplied?
Wrong!
Nope, not multiplication. Just looks that way because it's an illusion. I'm moving so fast it only looks like I've multiplied. Can you guys tell which one is the real Monokuma? Can we just get on the elevator already?
Boy!
You're not playing along.
Stop talking.
We're not here to play with you.
Okay.
Okay, fine.
Hey! Hey!
Then if everyone's here and ready to go, please board on the pain train, elevator. I'll see you guys down there.
Let's go.
Okay then, shall we?
Please!
Hold on, I'm not mentally prepared yet.
What the heck?
You'll never be mentally prepared. You can't run away anymore, hero. You're gonna pay for your sins.
What the heck?
I told you already, I didn't do it, for serious.
That reminds me. Did you ever find the other costume, or the note?
Well, no, but...
How unfortunate. Then it would seem we have our culprit.
Hey.
This isn't the place to talk about it. Save your accusations for when we get to the courtroom.
That's right.
She's right. Let's get down there first, then the story can really begin.
Yeah, good idea. That's right. I have to do it. I can't let whoever killed Hifumi and Taka get away with it. For everyone who's still alive, and for the two that lost their lives. The one who killed Hifumi and Taka, the one who killed two of our friends. The killer is... someone right here.
I already know who it is.
I took one last deep breath and exhaled slowly. I began to walk toward the elevator. Once everyone was aboard...
Michael Jackson began to play? Maybe not. The doors closed on their own and the steel box began to move. You're gonna hear a psst, by the way. Told you. It's because I'm having me some ice-cold, refreshing Coca-Cola.
The clunking of the elevator kept us company as we fell further and further down. There's no going back. Until we settled all this, we couldn't go anywhere.
That was a really short investigation, honestly. I honestly didn't expect a double murder to be so short. Sorry, I'm putting the cat back on me drink. Sorry about that.
I'm not sure how long it was before the elevator finally came to a stop. The elevator door slid open, opening up onto a cruel fate. When I see all you gathered together like this, I realize just how few of you there are left. Your school life is slowly reaching its climax.
Just the worst.
Only 'cause of you.
Why? Why are you making us do such cruel things to each other?
What? You really hate me so much, but I'm so cute.
Come on.
Stop goofing around and begin the trial.
Don't rush me, of course I'm gonna start it. I would never be like, stay tuned for the action-packed class trial after this commercial break. I'd never hold out on you like that. Okay, let's begin. Get to your assigned seats.
So here's where it gets all shooty-tooty, bullet refuty.
And so the curtain opened once again. A deadly judgment, a deadly deception, a deadly betrayal, a deadly inability to read, a deadly riddle, a deadly defense, a deadly faith, a deadly class trial.
It's not deadly, because I already know what happens. Am I gonna fuck it up anyway? Abso-fucking-tootly. Of course I will. If there's one thing you can be confident in me to do, it's fuck shit up. Wow, we have 5 out of 16 SP, so we should be able to get some more stuff. I think. How do I not have more skills at this point? What the fuck? Increases the focus gauge by 5, ineffective during the class trial. What? Costs 4 SP. If it's ineffective during the class trial, what the fuck's the point of having it? That doesn't make any sense. What the fuck? I don't understand. I honestly don't understand that. That makes 0 sense to me. Why is it a skill if it doesn't help you? That doesn't make any sense. Good to see you. Gonna be lurking while I eat. Hit 35 viewers today. Jesus fucking Christ, mate. That's awesome. I'm really proud of you.
Let's begin with a basic explanation
See, my
of the class
struggle
trial.
with streaming is
So, your votes
maintaining
will determine
entertaining
the
people. Like,
results.
that's, I think, the most difficult part about it. But I've been told I have the personality for it, and I'm quite funny sometimes. So,
If you can figure out
honestly, a
who
lot of people
done
just
it,
told me to go
then
for it, and
only
whatever
they
happens,
will
happens.
receive
So I figured I would.
punishment. But if you pick the wrong one, then I'll punish everyone besides the blackened, and the one that
I don't know
deceived
why, but it
everyone
really
else
sounds
will
like this teddy bear was
graduate.
hitting the fucking bollocks with like a hammer or something, and that's why he talks like that.
Now then.
Just happy to be a part of the community? Yeah, as with me. That was why I started streaming to begin with, was to get to know people and hang out with people and make friends. And fuck around and meme, and do all sorts of stupid shit, make like, you know, funny compilations of funny moments and stuff. Like clips and stuff like that.
He does not have an alibi for when the murders took place. And
You're
we
very
found
quick
him
to
in that
accuse
suit.
him. My gothic cutie.
Don't try and deny it. You killed them.
You're daft as fuck, and I'm not gonna listen to a single thing you
I
say.
didn't! Someone knocked me out! I was asleep the whole time!
So just to reiterate, I
don't
already know this
anything
game,
about
I know all the killers, I know all the plot and everything like that, so it's nothing major. Will I still fuck it up? Yes.
Shut
But,
your murdering mouth, murderer!
that tongue. Jesus
Who are
Christ,
you
it's like a
calling
roller coaster.
murderer?
Like one of the cool ones that does loop-de-loops and like
I am sorry
swirlies
to
and
say,
stuff like that.
Hero, but we do have evidence. Blueprints for the suit. Parts we assume were used to build it, and all of it was found in your room. You have to admit, the evidence is quite compelling.
Yeah, but if there's that much evidence pointing to a single person, you know it's a setup, don't you?
It points
just
to
common
you as
sense,
having
right?
created the suit.
I might
and
draw
wearing it
Celeste
while
later
committing
tonight.
Crime after crime.
That'd be fun to do in my new art style, I think. I drew Maki last night because I like Maki so much.
How many times do I have to
Then
tell
again, the
you?
imprints on Celeste's dress are a pain in the ass. Maybe I'll just draw her like from the half up or something, like halfway up.
I don't know!
Oh yeah, by the way, they do all the voice acting themselves, so I'm not going to be doing any of that. I'm just going to be poking fun, pretty much. Is Hiro really the killer? Or, before anything else, we have to make that clear. So I saw Tim do this a little while ago, and I think I have memory of like some of the bullets to use, but I don't remember all of them, so... Am I gonna fuck it up? Yes. Yes, indeedy.
Everything we found in your room.
Bleep.
The blueprints, the suit parts,
Bleep.
they are all proof enough that you are the culprit.
So do I contradict the blueprints
I don't
with
know
the
anything
message?
about that stuff. It's not
Because he
true,
doesn't
it's a
write like that. I know that.
conspiracy.
He writes really well.
Hero, why? Why
Fuck
did
off.
you kill them?
No! Just hold on a
My
second!
aim in this game is just as bad as my typing whenever I'm fucking typing in somebody's chat, because I typo really awfully. Yeah, looking at the writing, it was really messy, yeah.
Everything we
So I
found
must
in your
contradict the
room.
blueprints, yeah?
The blueprints, the suit
Nope.
parts, they are all proof
Oh, you
enough
cunt!
that you are the
You
culprit.
cunt! Man, I like you. Why do you do
I
this
don't
to
know
me?
anything about that stuff. It's
Fucking
not
stupid
true.
flying
It's a
purple words.
conspiracy.
Hero, why?
No! Just hold on a second!
Yeah, shut up. I know what to do.
Everything we
Fucking
found
game.
in your room. The blueprints, the suit parts, they
Shut
are
up.
all proof enough.
No, that's wrong.
Fucking stupid flying purple words.
Are we sure Hero
Look at all
really
those
made
dead
those
people, and I'm in the
blueprints?
middle of all of them. What a clusterfuck, Jesus. Poor Makoto. I'd be like, can I switch spots with one of the hot girls, please?
What do you mean?
Preferably her,
Bro,
or
take a
Kyoko.
look at this. It's the note that Hiro wrote, asking everyone to meet up after Alter Ego disappeared. The handwriting's obviously different, wouldn't you say? When you
Yeah, so
compare it
that's
to the
evidence to
blueprints.
support that he was framed, yeah. Plus, he's too fucking stupid to commit a murder, let's be honest.
There's no way you could think the same
Not an elaborate
person
one,
made both
anyway.
of them.
They should do that. They should have a really stupid character that you wouldn't think would murder anybody in a Danganronpa game actually murder somebody. but then it's really fucking complicated, and you're like, nah, they're too stupid to pull this off, but then it just happened accidentally, and they actually are the killer, and they don't even know it or something
Unless
like that.
person made it a
That'd be
point
really funny.
to disguise their handwriting.
No, the differences are bigger than that, I think.
Bigger than you, maybe?
Come
Fucking
on!
Tonka truck.
I'm not smart enough to think of trying to change my handwriting anyway.
That I agree with.
So
At least
Makoto,
he's honest. He's
Are
a
you
good
saying
boy.
you don't think Hiro's the culprit?
And he is not the only one. I think Hiro is innocent as well.
What?
Then who was in that
I seriously should have
Robo-Justice
given Byakuya a Pegasus's voice from Yu-Gi-Oh! Instead of Kaiba's. It would have been so much more fitting. Fucking hell, that would have been hilarious.
Is it like Hiro said?
I'm a little bit disappointed in
Was
myself
there
now.
really someone running around
Oh,
in
you
a
know what?
second
Maybe I'll
suit?
do it for Fat Byakuya in the second one. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it, totally. I can
The
do Pegasus
suspicious
really fucking well.
individual
Better than
hidden
I can do
within the
Kaiba's
suit.
voice.
Go ahead, Makoto.
Plus, Kaiba's voice hurts my
Tell
throat
them who
after
it
a while.
was.
And of course he passes it off to me.
So? Who was in the Robo-Justice suit?
Fucking hero, you daft twat. You saw it for yourself. Idiot. The Illuminati. I'm almost tempted. I'm honestly almost tempted. Just for the
Other than
memes.
Hero, I can't think
Although
of
I know
anyone
the
else it
text
could've
wouldn't be
been.
very funny. So I'm just gonna...
Obviously, he was
Pick the
the
right
one in
thing.
that particular suit. And we never found any
What is
kind
up
of
with that
second
kid's
suit.
hair? How the fuck does it do that?
Then there can be no doubt. Hiro is the prime
Somebody should draw
suspect.
Yugi Moto in the Danganronpa style. I'd love to see that.
That doesn't make any sense.
I might do it myself
You
as like a
just
fan
said
art.
Hiro didn't do it.
Hey, what's up, White Shadow? I haven't seen you in ages, dude. How you doing?
It makes perfect
Good to see
sense.
you. I've seen you streaming
Hiro
recently, but I
was the
can't remember
suspicious
what, because,
individual
like,
in the suit,
this is gonna sound really
he's
douchey,
not
but,
the
like, I
culprit.
love to support people and stuff like that, but if they don't play stuff that I usually typically play, I don't usually, like, go to their streams or anything like that.
So what you're saying is...
So it's like, if you're a person that, like, plays Apex Legends, or, like, you stream nothing but
That's
Fortnite,
right.
likely you're never gonna
The
see me in your
culprit
chat,
in
but I
this
will
case
follow
has
you to
nothing
support
to
you and,
do
like,
with
chill out
being
and
in the
fucking do whatever.
Robo-Justice
Because
suit.
I'm all about supporting people, but if it's something I'm not interested in, I'm obviously not gonna give a fuck. Like, I hope that doesn't come off, like, really douchey, because I don't want it to.
Now that's a bold assumption. And what reason do you have to make such a
Oh
statement?
yeah, so if people don't know, I do
have a
art and
reason,
shit,
yes.
and I'm basically trying to learn this art style. So I can do, like, commissions for people in this style and stuff like that, and I think I've learned quite a bit just fiddling around with it myself.
Of course.
And it's really fun to
But
screw
before
around
we
with,
get to
and
that-
the more you learn, the easier it becomes, so the more efficient you get at doing art, and, like, the more speedy you can do things. And, I learned something last night, that whenever I do line works, I can literally just do an outline of something, right? And then I can do all the details, and then I can literally just go over with shading, and do a line work, and then fill in the lines as I come to them, and then just re-go over the outlines with black line, and it does the same thing, and it saves so much time. Like, I can make an 8-hour project like a 6-hour project now with that knowledge, so it's really cool to learn more. Very understandable. I've been playing Spyro recently to reach out into some platformers.
There's something else
Oh,
we
dude,
need
if you
to
want
clarify
platformers, if
first.
you have the ability
let's
to,
get that out of
if
the
you've
way.
never heard of them, Donkey Kong 64 and Banjo-Kazooie and Tooie are some of the greatest platformers ever made of all time. Easily.
Hey, stop trying to boss us around.
Some of the greatest platformers ever made. I played them endlessly as a kid. Soundtracks are composed by Grant
things have a
Kirkhope,
proper
who's a
order.
very fucking awesome composer. He's seriously amazing. Conker's Bad Fur Day is another great one. And I think the soundtrack to that one was Robin Beanland, I think. And it's a hilarious, hilarious game, honestly.
So what is it?
It's not for
What
kids,
needs
though.
to
It
be
has the appearance that
clarified?
it's for kids, but it's definitely not for kids. It has drugs and, like, violence and fucking
We
alcohol.
must
and
clarify the method
it's a
of
squirrel.
transportation
It's
for
really fucking
Taka's
hilarious.
lifeless
It's
body.
honestly, yeah, so you know what I'm talking about. That was another game, surprisingly, I played a ton
It
of
would
as a
seem
kid.
that his corpse was moved
Because,
using
like,
certain
for people who don't know
particular
this, my
items.
dad is, like, a real cunt. Like, we don't get along anymore, but when I was a kid, I was allowed to play whatever the fuck I wanted, so I was allowed to play, like, Nightmare Creatures
Makoto,
and Resident
can you
Evil
tell
and
us
God
what
of
they
War
were?
and, like, all this crazy shit that normally, like, kids would not be allowed to play. Just because, like, I was so mature for my age. Can I ask you to follow a friend before I just pitch her name? Dude, you don't even need to ask me. Go right ahead. You don't even need to ask me. What the fuck am I doing? Oh, I'm not paying attention, so I'm just, like, talking bullshit, so I have to go off of, context what the fuck I'm talking about.
I got it!
Resident Evil's the best series ever. I'm so good? No, it's just I don't understand people who aren't willing to support other people just because it isn't beneficial to them to do so. I've never understood that. That's why whenever people ask me, like, I appreciate the courtesy, but, like, if people want to fucking self-promote in here, they're more than welcome. The things that were used to move Taka's body, they must have been the fucking tarp and the, dolly, yeah.
I got it! They were...
Yes, like, I
dolly
appreciate
and
the
a
courtesy
tarp,
of people
right?
asking, but, like, any friend of mine on here has absolutely, like, no reason to ask. Like, they have no need to ask me. You can just plug whatever the fuck you want, as long as it isn't against TOS, obviously. Yeah, but, like, if you want to support somebody else or you want to get somebody else's name out there, I'd be happy to be a fucking vice for that.
Taka's body disappeared
Because honestly, that's how I got my start on here.
and
Is,
then we rediscovered it in the repository.
literally, let me, like, copy and paste that name into my search. So I'm gonna open another tab real quick. So I'll copy it and I'll post it on a note or something. Yeah, let me just post it on this, I'll remember. There we go, done. Alright, and I'll leave it open so I don't forget about it.
And when we found it for the second time, it was
What
wrapped
program
in a
do I
blue
use for my
tarp,
art? I
right?
use something called Paint Tool Sci. It's pretty much MS Paint Plus, and I don't know very much about it, so like I kind of just do outline work and then...
It was the same tarp that up until then
Like,
was
I'm
stored in the
not that
equipment room.
fluid in it, so it's like, I'm sure I could make stuff take a lot less time, and I'm sure I could do a lot more with
So
it
the
if I knew
killer
what
must
all the
have seen
tools
it
did, but I
then
haven't
and
had the chance
decided
to fuck
use
around
it
with
when
all
they
of them
moved
yet.
Taka's body.
But I'm hoping to go to like maybe an art class or something like that and get lessons so I can like actually start doing artwork for people and shit like that. And do like really good quality work, if that makes any sense.
That way, they wouldn't leave any
Oh yeah, but
bloodstains
like I was
while they
saying,
were
how I
moving
got
it.
my start on here is like a whole bunch of people like K Witty, a Hattie, Casey Smurf, like basically a ton of people I used to hang out with like all the time, and I still do.
Okay,
It's like
that explains the
I was
tarp
really
and the
nervous about
dolly.
streaming because I'm not really a people person. Like I've said it before, I'm not very much of a social person, and I have social anxiety like up the wazoo. So it's like I don't like people that much. So basically they encouraged me to stream because I was very on the fence about it, and they just said go for it, and supported me a fucking lot, and I wouldn't be doing this if it wasn't for those people, so. Do I use a drawing pad? If
But
so,
when
I
the
would
body
recommend Krita.
disappeared,
It's
so did
what
the
I use.
doll.
It's very fun and easy to work with. I'll look into it. I don't have a drawing pad, but I may want to get one in the future, because right now I'm trying to figure out how the fuck people draw so smoothly with a mouse. Yes, D does stream himself, yes. But I'm trying to figure out how people
When
draw so
Taka's body
smoothly with a
reappeared in
mouse,
the
because trying to
repository-
like I use magnetic line work because it's like the simplest I can do, because
So
like my
did the
hand is very
doll.
jittery because I drink nothing but Coca-Cola all the time. So yeah, Coca-Cola. Ice
In other
cold,
words,
refreshing
you
Coke
think They use the dolly to
all the
move
time. So
body.
like my hand
Am
is
I
really
right?
jittery, and I'm always like hyperactive all the time because I drink so much of it. So there's 3 things I drink. I drink water very, very little. I should probably drink a lot more water. I drink Coca-Cola, and I drink Jack Daniel's whiskey. So those are the 3 things I drink. Oh yeah, and Blue Hawaiians, because Blue Hawaiians are fucking delicious.
But are you sure you are not mistaken?
Absolutely delicious.
Huh?
They're a prissy drink, but they're
Are
they're
you
so fucking good.
absolutely
If you haven't had a
positive
Blue
the
Hawaiian,
dolly
look
was
up the
in
mix and make one
equipment
for
room
yourself
when
and
we
tell me you
found
don't like it.
Taka's body?
It's like a fruity mix of like vodka, pineapple,
That dolly was
some
made
other stuff,
specifically
sugar, I
for
think.
moving large objects
Sponsored by Coke?
between
Yeah, that's the joke.
repository
Hopefully
and the
one day
art room.
we'll get there. And then promptly be dropped because I swear and I make a whole bunch of
It
crude
would
humor.
be very strange indeed to discover it had made its way to
Also,
the
I think I like
equipment.
Celeste so much because her eyes are red and like the rest of her palette is like black or dark colors, so it stands out
Is it
quite a
not
bit.
possible that
I
it
don't
was
know.
in the repository all along, and you simply didn't realize it?
She's raised an objection.
Yeah,
How do you
there's literally
respond?
times when like I say shit on stream and then like I'll think back like 2
There
minutes
is
later
no
and be like,
shame
oh
in
shit, I
being
probably
wrong.
should not have said that.
Nobody expects much from you anyway.
Nothing that breaks TOS, obviously, but stuff that's very, very close
We have all
that I should
accepted
probably
the
watch
fact
in the future
that
so I
you
don't fuck
rarely
myself.
understand what is going on around
I can
you.
already guarantee you, the person that's gonna get me banned before I do from this platform is gonna be the Majestic Space Chicken, if it's gonna be anybody. Wow, I've never heard anyone sound so nice while being so mean, but maybe I can change your mind. If I can just explain to them why the dolly must have been moved. Bullet time battles? Oh, fuck. Is this the reload shite? Alright, so Let me just put a forewarning out there. I'm probably gonna fail this. Tim failed it 3 times. My goal is to be better than Tim at this, but I'm probably gonna fail it ridiculously. Let's talk about reloading. Starting with the next bullet time battle, we're gonna add one more ingredient to the recipe. Chemical X, perchance? Am I gonna turn into a fucking Powerpuff Girl? Probably not. Although Makoto's a Powerpuff. Yeah, he's a Powerpuff, yeah. Ah, nailed it. Fucking clever. On the bottom of the screen, underneath the tempo marker, you'll see your ammo count. Up until now, there hasn't really been a limit on how you destroy your opponent's statements, but from now on, just locking on and pressing the triangle button won't be enough to handle them. Now it will cost you 1 bullet to destroy a single remark. Okay. Once you run out of bullets, you can't destroy any more statements, no matter how locked on you are. However, you can reload by pressing the square button. So is it just I gotta press square to reload my bullets when I need to, so it's just one more thing to pay attention to? Because if that's the case, it might not be too bad. Just like locking on, you'll have to press the square button in time with the tempo marker. Okay. Basically, just remember that the square button now has a function along with the X and square buttons. I think it meant to put triangle there, and it put another square accidentally, because the game doesn't know shapes probably about as well as I do. You will automatically reload at the start of fever time and your ammo will not decrease. Oh, but if your action difficulty is set to gentle, which I'm not on, you won't have to reload at all. I'm on normal. In which case you can ignore everything I just said. Well then, good luck and have fun. Watch me promptly fuck this the fuck up. Watch. It's gonna happen. So I just gotta remember that I gotta switch between X and square now. Should be easy.
You have it wrong. I cannot agree. You are a fool. So pathetic. Lies will get you nowhere. Do your worst. Away with you. You miserable wretch. I cannot agree. You are a fool. Lies will get you nowhere. Do your worst, you miserable wretch. You have it wrong. I cannot agree. You are a fool. So pathetic. Lies will get you nowhere. Do your worst. Away with you. You miserable wretch.
Easy peasy.
I cannot agree.
Fucking easy peasy. How the hell did Tim fail that multiple times? Although Tim had quite a few shots, and I have not yet, so... We're gonna have shots for Danganronpa 2, though. It'll be fun. And I'm probably gonna be a total idiot through the whole thing, and I'm probably gonna be a lot more funny when I'm not sober. I'll put that out there right now.
In the repository, one of the wheels had a blood stain on it.
Shooters, RPGs, platformers, and my streams are about loving the community and half thinking I'm decent at what I play. Yeah. If I had to summarize, that's me, pretty much. But I swear a lot more than D does. But D is probably like 50,000 times more entertaining than I am, so... I have my moments, I definitely have some moments, but... Most of all, I just talk shite, so...
there's my proof that the dolly was used to move
Samuel Grant, that's how exactly, that's what I was just saying, Viper. I was like, he had quite a few shots, but I didn't, so... Yeah, hopefully Celeste doesn't hate me that much. Maybe that's why she hasn't given me her panties yet, like she's supposed to.
Something we had to get out of the way.
Maybe I get him after
the main subject.
Stuff? I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know how it works in this game. I honestly don't. I don't remember.
Because if it's not a killer robot,
how are you doing, Viper? How you doing? Good to see you. Thank you for coming, by the way.
What kind of robot is it?
I'm not sure that really matters.
This game would be so much more fun if I didn't know what was gonna happen.
I'd be happy to
and I'm kind of disappointed that I watched the first 2 games instead of playing them myself, honestly.
If you look back on how the body was transported,
the only reason I watched them is because I didn't have confidence in myself to not fuck up, because I thought the gameplay was gonna be really difficult, so I didn't bother playing them. I just watched them instead. If I look at how the body was moved, it'll be clear why the person in the suit couldn't have done it. Because it can't bend at the waist, Jeff. How the fuck are you supposed to jack it wearing the robot suit? That doesn't make sense. If it can't bend at the waist, you're pretty much fucked, aren't you? That would have been Hifumi's fucking go-to, wouldn't it?
Taka was killed in the equipment room.
Yeah.
And from there,
why am I missing half a heart? I didn't fuck up the bullet game, did I?
Yeah.
Maybe I did.
The culprit wrapped the body in the tarp.
Maybe I did.
Then loaded it onto the dolly and wheeled it off, right?
Maybe I fucked up a little bit.
Keep in mind that the dolly doesn't have
Yeah, I'm not contradicting that.
Well, yeah, but even without a handle, all you'd have to do is bend over.
Yep, you can't bend over in the suit. That's gotta be it.
No, that's wrong.
Easy. You chocolate swirl ice cream. I thought McDonald's ice cream machine was always broken. If so, how the fuck was she born? Because that doesn't make any sense. Ah, you know what? It could be fucking Dairy Queen or something.
If you were wearing that suit, Do you think you could actually get into a position like that?
That's some dodgy fucking NSFW shit Makoto's getting into.
What do you mean?
Wearing a suit and fucking bending over. I don't know what the hell he's on
Back to
about,
what
but
you said when
sounds
we were
sketch.
all checking out the suit together.
Not doing too bad, me. I just had myself an entire large pizza from my local Domino's Pizza, by the way. Seriously, the people at my local Domino's are so goddamn cool. Like, they know me by name, and, like, I don't have to pay full price for pizza and shit. Like, it's super cool. Like, I always tip them when I can, because they're awesome fucking people. And there was a cutie working the register today, too. She had, like, this short hair, and she had these ear piercings that were, like, oof. Her voice was a little bit weird, though, I gotta say. She was, like, kind of
When
meek,
you're in
but
that
she was
suit,
really cute.
Not only can you not see your feet, but you can't even bend at the waist. Am I right about that?
Now that you mention it, yeah.
Yeah, see, this is why we shouldn't depend on her in trials, because she's an absolute fucking numpty, and she'll get us all killed.
It seems like it'd be awfully hard to push
I think
that dolly
Yasuhiro
if
would
you
be more
couldn't
useful in a
bend
trial
over.
than she would, honestly, because at least Yasuhiro gives us information that we need to solve the
Well,
case.
What's to stop you
Asahina doesn't
from
really do
simply
shit, she
pushing the
just kind
dolly
of
with
sits
your
there and
feet?
looks pretty.
When you can't even see your feet? You really think someone could kick the dolly all that way?
Plus, kick the dolly up the stairs? That doesn't make any
It'd be
sense.
totally impossible. Not that I can say for sure myself.
Yeah, you were knocked out the entire
On
time,
top
so
of
how the
that,
fuck do you have
you
any
were
sort of
wearing
idea?
such a rigid, cumbersome suit. It's very
I
unlikely. you
really
would have
wish
the
they'd quit saying the
dexterity
word
to go about
rigid, like
wrapping
if
the
they just
body
picked
in
a different
parts.
choice of word, because I don't know what it is about the word rigid, but it always makes me think of dick. So it's like, I'd really like to not read the word rigid more times than I have to.
Isn't that just a matter of
If
taking
that makes
off the
any
suit when
sense.
you're ready to move the body?
There's absolutely no chance that the costume is taken off just to move the body, because you can't take it off by
I
yourself.
got it! I don't think taking off the suit was an option. If you remember,
I'm gonna have me a drink of Coke really quick. I still have like 2 pieces of pizza left, but I'm Keikonia enough that I would actually eat an entire large pizza to myself. Oh yeah, I should probably go through this very slowly. I'm not gonna read it, but you guys can read it for yourself if you wish. You already know that you can't get the suit off by yourself, so you have the information that you need. There you are.
That's true. It seems impossible to put the suit on or take it off without help.
Then, you really can't take it off by yourself? Hero
No, you
wasn't just
idiot!
making
You were
it
in the
up?
suit yourself. What the fuck? God, she's daft.
course I
She's
wasn't
worse off
making
than
it up.
me. And I'm pretty bad. What is that red thing that's on Hero's shaky
if he could
thing?
have gotten it off by himself,
I don't know what that is.
I don't think he would have let us see him wearing it.
God, look at all my dead friends. Jesus.
Showing up in the suit was basically
Honestly,
an
you know what I think
invitation
they add
for
the
everyone to
portraits in there
suspect
for?
him.
They add it, like, as insult to injury.
Yeah, that's right.
Like, literally insult to injury.
So, it's really, really
It's like, yeah, you
true
remember
that
your
Robo
friends
Justice
that were
couldn't have
alive
moved
at
the
one
dolly?
point, but aren't here anymore?
To be
Because, you know,
clear,
I killed them?
Whoever did move the body, it couldn't have been Hero in the robot.
Actually, I'll say this
suit,
right now. In
correct?
no Danganronpa game are they actually under any, like, circumstance in which they have to kill people. It's always a mindfuck,
No,
like,
wait.
every time.
Just a second,
Like,
if
they
you
never
please.
actually have to kill their
Have
friends.
you
They're just
forgotten
tricked into
about
thinking
the
they do.
picture that I
So
took?
it hurts even worse later on when you figure out, like, all of it was pointless, pretty much.
You all got a good look at it, did you not? The image of Hifumi being dragged away by Robo Justice?
Well, that's obviously Voltron. I don't know what fucking era you were born
if
in, but
whoever was in
that
that
isn't
suit
Robo
is not
Justice,
the
that's
culprit,
Voltron.
how
So.
do you explain that? Besides, do you remember what the now deceased Hifumi said?
Rudy Tooty, fresh and fruity. I really wish I could get me some 2-day anime booty. Is that what he said? How did you get hurt?
That guy hit me.
What guy?
Robo Justice, yeah, that's what I decided to call him just now.
Yeah,
So long
just
as
now.
those facts exist, the proper conclusion is beyond question. The individual inside the suit and the culprit are one and the same. It was Hero, without a doubt.
No, because if it's very difficult to move in the suit, how the fuck would you expect to be able to murder somebody? That doesn't make any sense.
Hold on a second.
It's still far too early to reach that conclusion.
Thank you, reasonable waifu.
Besides, there's no hurry to decide who did it before we rush to a verdict.
See, I'm
Shouldn't
just
we
like
explore
Hifumi. I have a
every
love for
single
2D characters
possibility?
and like anime chicks, but I'm not a freak.
Instead of seizing
He says
on
as he
one
has a body
viewpoint,
pillow on his
the
bed.
truth is uncovered
I
by
get lonely.
analyzing
Shut
things
up.
from every angle.
And that pillow is hella comfy.
Perhaps, but where do we go from here?
Plus, it has boobs on it,
Let's
so it's
review
always
this
nice.
series of unfortunate events from the
Especially
beginning.
when you're lonely, like I
Maybe
said.
we'll uncover something new.
What a pain in the ass!
Yeah, could you fuck
I
off so we don't have
disagree,
to deal with you anymore?
but our
That'd be
lives
nice.
are on the line.
Plus, maybe we'll get to find out where the heck Kyoko was when everything went down.
All right then, let's take another look back at what happened. I suppose we could start with this morning.
So, depending on the size of her arms, do you think she jacks herself every day and that's how they got that big,
Four
or
of
what?
us gathered together in the dining hall.
Or did she go through
Makoto,
like a half-ass
Hina,
Sailor Moon
Kyoko,
transformation and just ripped her
myself.
suit halfway and was like, fuck it, I don't look sexy anymore.
We waited
I'll
there
just
for
leave it
quite
like
a
that, I
while,
guess.
but nobody else showed up, so we went to look for everyone.
Look at Hifumi, he's like, oh yeah, I'm dead as fuck.
That was around 8 a.m.
And as soon as we split up,
I don't know what it is
Kyoko
about
went
Hifumi's
missing.
face, but like that's the face I make whenever I get like a fresh stack of
Soon
pancakes.
after
I'm
that,
just like, oh
Hina found
yeah.
Celeste in the rec
I'm gonna
room
fucking
and quickly
annihilate
came to
these
get
pancakes.
Makoto and me.
It seems I was unconscious
Come on, show the
for
picture
about
again.
an hour after I was attacked by my mystery assailant.
Leon looks like somebody just snapped a picture of him while he was doing something very sketchy, and he was like, wait, don't post that on the internet, please.
I know it was an hour because
Not
I
on my
remember
Instagram.
being attacked a little after 7.
He looks like somebody who uses Instagram. What a twat.
That
With this
was when
fucking...
we saw
The thing that
Celeste's
pisses me off
picture
about
and
Leon the most
discovered
is his
that her
goatee has that
assailant
little,
had been wearing
like,
a strange
wire thing.
costume.
You know what I'm talking about? Like, you know when people have, like, a ponytail? Like, say a dude has a ponytail and they put, like, one of those, like, female hair circlets around it?
As it turns
God, I
out,
hate that.
it was Robo-Justice.
I seriously fucking hate that.
It also soon became clear
Good
that
night,
this
you must
same
slumber. Okay.
Robo-Justice had abducted Hifumi.
I'm trying to think of something clever I can, like, put into, like...
We were soon
Like olden
joined in our
elven
search
speak
by
or something
Byakuya
like
and
that,
Toko,
that I could
and then
say
went on
to
to
be
find
clever, but
Hifumi in the library.
I can't, so good night.
He was injured, so we took him to the nurse's office and resumed our search.
Is it
for
really
the
bad
suspect.
that in my head I just associated elves with Irish people? Because I think that's bad. That sounds bad. Like, I thought elf, and then when I was thinking of elves, I thought of, like, an Irish accent.
But not long
And I was
after
gonna, like,
leaving the
do the
nurse's
Lucky
office,
Charms guy voice, and then I was like, I probably shouldn't do that right after I just mentioned thinking about elves. Fuck. I don't know, but that's the way my head works, so now you know how much of an idiot I am. What's wrong?
I saw a shadow, something moving around at the top of the stairs.
Yeah, sure you
When
did.
Celeste told us that,
It's probably
we
my
decided
shadow
to
peeking
split
on
up
her.
and
It's
search
probably
the
what it
second
was.
floor.
Not to be creepy, but she is
And
quite
soon
cute.
after
so.
that,
I saw someone moving around on the 3rd floor, and I yelled out to everyone as soon as I did.
It looks like she has tires for hair, like very small tires. Like maybe like motorcycle wheels or some shit. What's up, Rosie? How's it going? Just in time for more bullshit. If you come here expecting anything other than bullshit, I'm afraid you're going to be incredibly disappointed.
Celeste, what's wrong?
That was a rather intense scream for someone like you. Sick. Boo.
I saw him. It's a strange costume man. He ran off as soon as I screamed. I was blocking the stairs, so he headed further down into the hallway and disappeared.
and then,
That accent is one Hollywood gives to elves, so you can see that. Yeah, it was probably mildly racist or offensive, but whatever. Oh, you know what it is? It's because Warwick Davis plays the fucking leprechaun in the movies, that's why. That's why I was thinking about Irish people, although I don't think Warwick Davis is Irish, but he could be. So, if he is, that makes sense, subliminally, why I thought elves were associated with Irish. Yeah, racist, pretty much.
That came from downstairs. It must have been. Hifumi. He's in the nurse's office. This is bad. Come on, we have to go back.
I hate it when they put the text all in white like that, because I think it's
at
the
that
same...
point, we decided to
I
divide
think it's
up
the same
into two
character, and it's
groups.
actually a different character, so I wish they would at least change the color of the text so I knew, like, what perspective I was speaking from, if that makes
Celeste,
sense.
Hina, and I went back to
Yeah,
the
but if you're
nurse's
sick,
office.
wear socks, wear pajamas, like, everywhere, wear a sweater
Sakura,
all the time so you can
Byakuya,
regulate
and
your body
Toko
heat
chased after the
and
suspect.
your body temperature, and maintain that. Put a humidifier in your room and drink a lot of hot tea. Not that you should ignore drinking hot tea anyway, because tea is delicious.
When we
But
got
yeah,
back
drink
to
a
the
lot of
nurse's
tea.
office,
That should help you
we
get better
found
in no
Hifumi
time.
dead.
Also, try cloves of garlic if you have, like, your sinus is plugged or something, just like take a piece of a clove of garlic. Don't eat like an entire clove of garlic all at once, because that'll suck. But take like a tiny piece of a clove of garlic and just like eat that, and that should clear you up as well.
I left Celeste and Hina there and headed back to the 3rd floor to let the others know what had happened.
Tea is good, but you don't have a sweater? How does a female not have a single sweater? I don't believe you. Borrow your boyfriend's sweater. He probably has like 5, at least.
We must have found both bodies.
I have like 3 sweaters. I used to have more, but they all ripped, and I don't like wearing ripped clothes.
Because we heard the
Mom
same
made rice with
announcement
garlic? Yeah.
not long after we discovered his body.
And that's when I told you
How's
guys
that?
about
How's that
Fumi.
detective game you've been playing going? It looks a bit weird. I tuned in for like 10 minutes, and then I
the
was
3
like,
of us headed for the
I don't know, the
nurse's
style
office.
of it like really put me off, and I didn't want to look at it anymore.
But right after we
I
left
don't know.
the physics
It's
lab,
just very strange.
we ran into Celeste,
I hope you're enjoying it though.
who'd arrived after us. And she told us something very
I like how I'm not
surprising.
even paying attention to the fucking trial, and I'm still acing it like a fucking champion. Probably because I already know what happens, but famous last words, I'll fuck it up eventually, you can guarantee on that.
Hifumi's body has disappeared.
We rushed back to the nurse's office and
It
saw
was pretty
that she
good?
was right.
That's good to hear. I'm glad it was pretty good.
Then we remembered.
Speaking of pretty
we'd
good,
left Toko
Sekiro's coming out in
passed
a
in
week,
the
which I can
equipment
afford
room,
now.
So we
Because
hurried back
I'm not
again.
as much of a broco as I was before. Also, I'm gonna link you guys a tweet real quick, because I think you guys will enjoy this. This can't be happening. Ooh, wait, hold on a second. 2 seconds.
But when we got there, we discovered
damn,
that now
Jesus.
Taka's
Okay,
body
thanks, Twitter.
had
Good
also
lord.
gone missing. Next thing
Sorry,
we
I was
knew,
just-
we
I was
were
looking at
searching the
something like
school
very
for 2
NSFW.
missing dead bodies.
And I was like captivated by it for a minute, so I'm sorry
And
about that.
after some time,
Yeah, I hope you guys are all doing well. Shadow Viper, Rosie, you as well. So, this is the emote that my buddy Casey Smurf asked
Celeste
me to
informed
do
us
for
that
him.
she'd found the bodies,
So I
and we
basically
all
just
headed
took
to the repository,
an image of this guy and converted it to a PNG,
which is where we
and
rediscovered
resized
the
it for him.
corpses.
And it's gonna be his new LOL emote. And it's Fleece Johnson. Like, if you guys don't know who Fleece Johnson was,
think
he's in
that
that
about
episode of
covers
the Boondocks with Chris Hansen. So, get your Chris Hansen out, right?
I see.
So, he
The
was in
whole
that
thing
episode, and
sounds
he's the one that's like,
exceptionally complicated.
I came here looking for Bodhi. He's that guy.
It certainly seems
You
to
know
me
the one.
that these
If
are
you-
not
if you
a
know the
simple
Boondocks, you know
series
what
of
I'm talking
connected
about.
events.
So that's Fleece Johnson, and it was actually based off like a real prison
Okay,
documentary.
well,
And
if that's true,
in
then
Casey's stream last night, we were all on about like prison documentaries and
Rather
like
than a
making
single
Heligachi
series of
jokes and shit.
events, I
Fucking
think
hell.
we have to consider each murder a
Like,
separate
it's seriously
situation.
never a fucking dull time in a Casey stream.
And
It
from
never
there,
is.
we can uncover the contradictions surrounding all of them.
I'm
Now
not
then,
even paying
let's
attention
get
to the
started,
trial. I'm just
beginning
talking
with
about
what
fucking
happened to
Fleece
Taka.
Johnson and booty warriors and shit. Good lord.
The contradictions hidden in what happened to Taka. In order to cover the truth of this case, I have to find them no matter what.
I have no idea what the fuck this is, so I might fuck this up. I should have paid attention. This is where I get my comeuppance. Maybe. Monokuma file?
So, regarding
I don't know who
Taka's
Toki
death,
is. I have no idea.
I wonder if he died before Hifumi, or perhaps it was after.
We already know what order they were killed in. Taka came last
what makes you say that?
because of the numbering of the Justice Hammers.
It's true that Hifumi was killed with Justice
What am I
Hammer
doing?
3, while Taka's death came from
It gave me a bullet, so do I have to, like...
See? So it's obvious Taka came
Okay,
after.
let me see what...
The Justice Hammers were numbered, but were they really used in that order?
So, regarding Taka's death,
So do I use the Monokuma
I
file
wonder
on...
if he died before Hifumi.
It's gotta be
or
something
perhaps
that
it was after?
Asahina says, because I'm contradicting her.
We
right?
already know what order they were killed in. Taka came last
Are you serious I missed that? Let me just try this.
What
I'm
makes you
probably
say
gonna
that?
fuck it up, but I'm just gonna take a shot in the dark.
because of the numbering
And
of
I'll
the
be to
Justice
blame.
Hammers.
Let me... No, that doesn't work. Okay.
Shoot.
Fair enough.
So, I wonder if
I have all the
We
time in the
already
world, so
know
I'm
what
not
order
even...
They were killed in. Taka came last.
Okay. How
What makes you say that?
did the game seriously just say that I missed that? Because I don't think I did. but-
See? So it's
Okay, I have to
obvious
take something she said. I think.
So, regarding
Because if
Taka,
neither of
I
those things
wonder
work,
what
that
the
must
heck
mean
they-
I have to
We
absorb a
already know
statement.
what order they were killed in.
Taka came last.
I didn't shoot that first thing, but whatever you say.
Because of the numbering of the justice hammers.
Oh, thank fuck.
No, that's wrong.
FBI, open up. That was my joke, with Himiko and V3.
Hold on.
So Himiko is
There's no
basically
reason
like
to
this
assume
very
that the
meek,
hammers were
very
used in the
shy
same
and
order as their
soft-spoken
numbers.
girl that does not look her age. She looks about like 13. And you get her into a love hotel later in the game, and I was like, yeah, hello, police. Because she like wanted you to rub her back in the middle of the hotel room and shit, and I was like,
That's just another way the
Shuichi, honestly,
killer
you should
tried
be
to
getting the
disguise
fuck out of
their
here, because this is shit that's gonna get you arrested,
So
honestly.
you're saying the culprit wanted us to think
It was
the hammers
really
were
funny.
used in order,
It's in the highlights, like it's in the meme clips.
but
if
in
you guys wanna see
reality,
it.
Taka was killed before Hifumi? Okay then, let's see the proof.
Evidence that proves Taka was killed before Hifumi. There's something that relates to what time he must have died.
That's gotta be the watch, doesn't it? What is this? Hangman's Gambit? Okay. Oh god, that's long. Wristwatch? Oh wow, that was really easy. I need an S. Give me an S! Where's Vanna White when I fucking need her? Give me some letters, woman. Thank you. See? She's like the Tooth Fairy. She comes in whenever you, like, need a letter, or whatever. I don't know. Make out of that what you will. I'm too lazy to make a joke out of that. Give me an A. Am I a fucking cheerleader? Come on. Hopefully I can remember how to spell. Otherwise I'm gonna be shafted. H? Yeah. There we go. Easy. Wristwatch. Simple. Good thing I'm killer at Hangman. I'm an absolute killer at Hangman. Although I'm not gonna be saying that when fucking Danganronpa 2 comes around, because the Hangman game and Danganronpa 2 looks seriously difficult.
See? Look. It broke with the hands pointing just past 6 o'clock.
Also, I don't like this trial.
It must have
One of my
gotten
favorite
broken
characters
when he was
dies this
attacked
trial,
by
so I'm
the
not
killer.
super pleased about
Because
it. But,
as of last
oh well.
night,
That's Danganronpa for you. If you like a character, get ready for heartbreak, because odds are they're dead. Hey you! How long are you gonna keep us waiting? It's almost 10 o'clock, you know that? Bedtime for all the little boys and girls.
so if it wasn't broken after 6 last night, then he must have been attacked around 6 this morning.
Yeah.
And that would be his official time of death.
So that's the shitty thing about a
that's
wristwatch.
true,
You can't tell
then
whether
he
it's
was
PM or
killed
fucking
well before Hifumi.
AM. That's why I like digital watches. But if you have a phone, you don't
And
need a
before
digital
Celeste
watch.
was attacked this morning.
In fact, if you have a
which
toaster, it's
happened around
probably a
7.
watch as well.
That's right. Taka
Although a
was
watch
killed
is mobile,
before
and a
any of the
toaster
other
isn't, so.
incidents took place.
That simple fact slipped
Which
past
one?
all of us.
Celeste dies in this chapter, unfortunately.
We made the wrong assumption about the order of events.
Although her
all
execution
because
is
of
pretty
those
wicked,
justice
and it's
hammers.
kind of ironic, so it's a little bit funny
That's
in a way.
exactly why the culprit wrote the numbers on each hammer.
Also,
and
she
had
has
them
one of the best
increase in
character
size.
breaks in any game ever.
That way, when we
And
saw
I can't
how
tell
they
if
were
she gets
used in
sexier
each
when she breaks
incident,
character, or
we
if she's
easily
already,
made that
sexier to
wrong
begin with,
assumption.
but
Now, if Taka was
she
killed
gets pretty
around
hot when
6,
she's upset,
then
so.
everyone's alibis for his murder go out the window. Because when he was killed, we hadn't met up in the dining hall yet.
That may be true in the case of Taka's murder, but all of our alibis still hold true for Hifumi's
I'm trying to remember all
death.
the other things I have to contradict
right.
in this so I don't fuck them up.
With him, at least, we're all safe.
So that's why I'm being so quiet, because I'm trying to get the order of events right, so I don't, like, make myself look like more of an idiot. Because I already know what happens, pretty much, so it's like, if I fuck it up when I already know what happens, I'm a huge twat, right?
When
Yeah,
we
'cause
heard
Celeste had us
Hifumi's
running around
screaming,
all over
we
the
were all
place, right?
together. Except for Hiro and Kyoko.
Although my buddy Tim is not gonna like the
Then
next
we all
chapter.
ran down to the nurse's office.
He's gonna be very
And
upset.
that's where we found his body.
But, he's gonna get,
true. We're all
he's
in
gonna
the
get
clear.
accustomed to how Danganronpa works after that, I think.
Oh, I know! They must have recorded him screaming on a tape or something, then played it later on!
See, that's not a bad thought.
If that's true, where's the tape?
I don't know.
Don't just go making stuff up.
Well, he's just thinking of possibilities that could make
Anyway,
sense, so you can't
we
really
all have
hurt
rock
him, you know,
solid
for
alibis for
brainstorming.
when we heard Hifumi scream. Since all of us were there together, Clearly, none of us could have killed him.
And it does not stop there. There was also the moment when we discovered
So this
his
trial's
body
probably
had
gonna last
disappeared.
like another like 40 minutes,
When
if I
his
had to
body
guess. I
vanished
think.
from the nurse's office, Hina and I were in the bathroom together, while everyone else
Oof.
was in the equipment room.
In the
correct?
bathroom together, doing what?
And then there's the disappearance of Taka's body from the
Don't look at me
equipment
like that. You can't just say me and Asahina were in the bathroom together and have me not be curious. You know that, don't you?
At that time,
Look at
we
her
were all
judging me
gathered
silently.
together in the nurse's office
She's
because
like,
of Hifumi going
You
missing.
dirty, dirty-minded person.
Well,
It's
don't
like, well,
forget,
yeah.
I was passed out in the
Come on, give
equipment
me a
room
break.
the whole
Fuck.
time.
Wait, then what if Genocide Jill did it? She could have dragged Taka's body out of there.
Nah, that's
right
bullshit.
then.
When she sees blood, she goes all fucking psycho.
Even if she could pull that off, there's no way she could have done the same
Yeah,
with
plus she's
Hifumi's
way
body.
too fucking... wank.
Because, as we just established, she was passed out in the equipment
That's also
room
true.
when his body disappeared.
Gonna get off and curl up into a
I
ball.
didn't do
Alright.
either of them anyway.
Hopefully you feel better soon.
In
If you're
other
like
words,
actually off.
It is
Like hopefully
impossible
you
that
feel
any
better.
of us could have killed Hifumi, or
See, I don't know why
moved
people
either of
always say
their
this, but you know
bodies.
whenever you're sick and people are like, oh, I hope you get better soon, it's like, why not get better now? Why get better soon? It's like, I'd rather feel better immediately, you know what I mean?
On the other hand,
Kinda weird.
Hiro and Kyoko had disappeared.
Kyoko.
So they most certainly could have done
Whoever
these
did
things.
Celeste's voice is like, I gotta look up her voice actor.
So what now, Kyoko?
But it's like, yeah, why are
For
you telling
now,
me to
we
get better
can't get
soon? It's like,
fixated on who did
get
it,
better
or
now,
we'll just
please.
keep going
Like, what
around
the
in
fuck?
circles. So instead of who,
I can't tell if
propose we
her
start
eyes are
talking
lavender
about
and her
how.
hair is silver, or her hair is lavender and her eyes are like purple.
In particular, I think we need to figure out how Hifumi's body got moved.
That's true. We searched everywhere.
Hifumi's body
but we
got
couldn't
moved
figure
because
out
there was
how
a
to explain
fucking
his body
sale on
disappearing.
donuts and fucking
And according to
sausage
what
links
Celeste
and
said-
shit. And he knew it, and he was super hungry? I don't know.
We could not have been gone for more than a minute or two, though. So then the killer was able to get in and move Hifumi's body in that short amount of time? It would seem so.
His body apparently disappeared in the 1 minute her and Hina took their eyes off of it. But to carry that much weight from the first floor up to the third in that short amount of time?
All you gotta do is believe in yourself, that's it, you know?
Oh man.
You can
yeah.
move somebody that's
There's
30
no
times
way.
your size if
It'd
you
be
just believe in
impossible.
yourself. Or you turn into the Incredible Hulk, either one.
Well, what if I told you there was a way to make the impossible possible?
What are you, Kaito now? Yeah.
What? How?
Hey, what's up, Del? How's it going?
If the dead body were to move itself.
I like how it plays New World Order here like it's a fucking revelation. Like, holy shit, you're so smart that the game told you a thing that was obvious. Wow! 200 IQ! Look at Makoto, he's like, holy shit.
The dead body moved on
Look
its
at
own?
Asahina, she can't even contemplate that. It's not a donut, so she's confused and scared. Look at her.
No, not another ghost.
I don't think it has anything to do with the occult. I think
Yeah,
what
look at
she's
Byakuya, he's
implying
like,
is
I'm about to slap the fucking stupid right out of your dumbass face.
we
Seriously.
thought Hifumi was dead, but perhaps in reality he was still alive.
He was alive?
Are you saying
Pearl
Hifumi
Jam starts playing
wasn't
heavily
carried
in
out
the
of
background.
nurse's office, but simply
You know the
walked
one.
out on his own?
I'm gonna actually listen to some Pearl Jam
I
after the
mean,
stream. I
we found
recommend
his
you guys
body.
do as well.
He was dead.
Because Pearl
Perhaps
Jam
he
is
was
incredibly
simply
good.
playing dead.
That it isn't possible.
The idea that Hifumi was still alive, is it really possible?
Yeah, of course it is. Look at fucking, what's his name? Chuck Norris. He's not dead yet, is he? He died in that one movie, but you know that was bullshit. That was all staged, like
Are
the
you
moon
saying
landing.
that
You
when
know
we
that, don't
first
you?
found Hifumi
Nobody
in
can
the
kill Chuck
nurse's
Norris. It's
office,
fucking Chuck Norris.
there's a chance
Chuck
he's
fucking
actually
Norris!
still alive?
Yeah.
No, it is impossible.
Is it?
Hifumi was dead, without a doubt.
How do you know that?
And you know that how?
Yeah. How do you know
Surely
that?
you heard the body discovery announcement along with the rest of us.
But that was bullshit, wasn't it?
Hifumi's dead body had been found. And that is why the announcement
Okay,
was
I don't
made.
know what to contradict
Are
here.
we really so sure about that? Maybe the announcement was intended to signal someone else's discovery.
Give me that. I think that's it. Give me that. Good night, Viper. Hope the rest of your night and stream go well. It will. I'm sure. Unless I fuck up, in which case it's gonna be very dumb. But it'll at least be funny.
I'm sure the body discovery announcement was only made once, but Hifumi and Taka's bodies were discovered at almost exactly the same time.
Are you saying that when we first found Hifumi in the nurse's office?
So I have to
There's
shoot
a
this at
chance
when
he was
she
actually
says body
still
discovery
alive.
announcement, I think.
No, it is impossible.
Maybe. If I had to guess.
Hifumi was dead, without a doubt.
And you know that how?
Yeah, have a good night, Viper. I'll see you
Surely
soon.
heard the
Hopefully.
body discovery
Probably in
announcement
somebody else's
along with
stream,
the
but
rest of
I'll see you
us.
shortly.
Hifumi's dead body had been found.
Huh? Yeah!
That's wrong.
Look at me, smart. Smart, 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 smart. Not really.
Was the
One
body
in a million.
discovery
That was a 1 in a
announcement that was
million.
made
Never
really
depend on me
intended
to
for
do anything
Hifumi?
correctly.
Of course it was. The announcement played right after we discovered his body.
But maybe that was timed incredibly well,
Maybe.
because you're a cunning,
But that
cunning
was
bitch.
also the same time that
very
Taka's
possible, don't
body
you
was
think?
found.
That's right. It wasn't long after finding his body that we heard the announcement.
Shut
So
up,
there's
Kaiba.
a good chance we've made a mistake in there somewhere. I think we've confused whether the announcement was for Hifumi or Taka.
First of all, if 2 bodies had been found, there really should have been 2 announcements.
Maybe Monokuma simply got lazy and rolled them together into one.
What do you say, Monokuma? Any comment?
Well, it's a very sensitive issue, so I can't go into too much detail.
What if Monokuma was like,
Well, I saw this bitch with a really tight ass the other day when I went grocery shopping.
But what I
And he, like,
can
wasn't paying
say about
attention
the
at all?
body
That'd be fucking
discovery
hysterical,
announcement
wouldn't it?
is that
that'd be a great story, I
it's
bet.
only broadcast when 3 or more people find a dead body for the first time.
That didn't answer our question, man. We were asking if you're a lazy bum.
No, actually, that was plenty.
Huh?
Byakuya is smart. Hero, dum dum dum
He
dum
said
dum.
it's only broadcast when a body is discovered for the first time. Which means, even if we find the same body again later, he won't make the announcement again. If that's true, then why
But
was
that would
the
mean that he's
announcement
lazy
made
as fuck,
again
right?
later
So
on?
you still get across the point that he's lazy, right?
Later on?
Exactly. We heard the body discovery announcement twice.
The second body discovery announcement, the first time it played was when we found each body in the nurse's office in the equipment room. And the second time was when...
I got it!
Yeah, both bodies
We
were
heard it a
rediscovered, yeah.
second time in the repository, when we rediscovered the 2 bodies.
So that means one of them wasn't really dead at the time.
A body has been discovered. After a certain amount of time, which you may use however you like, the class trial will begin.
It didn't seem weird at the time, but it contradicts what Monokuma
Absolutely
just
it
told us,
does.
doesn't it?
Exactly. If we were actually rediscovering both bodies, the announcement shouldn't have played.
So you're actually discovering one of the bodies for the first time.
Then in reality, when the 2 dead bodies were rediscovered, one of them was actually being discovered for the first time.
So, when we found Hifumi the first time in the nurse's office, he wasn't actually dead yet. Meaning, he wasn't actually found
It
dead
must have been all the
until we
waffles
came
and the
upon him in
pancakes
the
that did him in. Poor
repository.
fatty. Couldn't stop himself. Couldn't hold back the K-Kona blood
And
within him.
that's
He
just
just
part
had to
of
have more pancakes.
There's one other thing that leads me to believe he was still alive in the nurse's office.
The glass is being fucked, right?
Because he was super good at playing dead! Bada bing, bada boom!
Yeah, I hate
The
her so
worst
much.
logic I have ever heard. But honestly, I do
She
not
should have
think
died
there's
this fucking
anything
trial,
that can
honestly,
prove he
instead
was
of my
still
waifu.
alive.
Well,
Okay,
one of my
then.
waifus.
Let's take another look at
least
the
one of my
events
waifus
surrounding
is
the
still alive.
discovery of his body. Then it should become clear whether he was really alive or not.
This whole thing is pointless.
Yeah, you would say that, wouldn't you?
There has to be proof that shows Hifumi was still alive. I have to find it and show it to everybody.
Why don't you show them your internet history so everybody can see how fucking freaky you really are? Then they know who to truly be afraid of.
Well, here's one thing we do know.
He is into sniffing girls' bed sheets
The
and all
first
that other
time we
shit.
found Hifumi's body was in the nurse's office.
Touching dead bodies and crap like that,
And
weirdo.
then, while me and Celeste were in the bathroom, his body disappeared.
I didn't
And
mean
the
to shoot
next
that,
time
you
we
fuck.
saw his body, it was in the
It's really hard,
repository.
because you have to be, like, really accurate
But
in
when
this
you
game, otherwise you
compare
don't
his
hit the
body
words
before
exactly
being
right and you don't get them
and
out of
his
the way,
body
so you don't get the
after
time.
being moved,
So it's like, if you shoot again, there's a
other
chance
than
you
the
fuck
change
yourself.
in how it was positioned, there was no notable difference.
Nah, shut up. That's wrong.
No, that's wrong.
Yeah, that's right. You're wrong.
In fact, there was one clear difference between Hifumi in the nurse's office and the repository. His glasses. That fact alone proves that he was only
Yeah, now see, if
playing
you would have
dead
taken
in
the
beginning.
glasses off of him, that wouldn't have been evidence to support any of this theory. So
Perhaps you'd like to feel
she
the
could have
rest
gotten
of us
away with
in?
this if she was a little bit less daft, but unfortunately she didn't think. Otherwise,
When we
honestly,
found
other than like
Hifumi
2
in the
very small
nurse's
fuck-ups,
office,
this was a very
his
perfect
glasses
murder,
were covered
honestly.
with blood.
The glasses and the cleaning
when we
cloth, you
found
could have
it again
disposed of
later
both
in the
of those and you would have
repository,
been like totally fucking clear.
they were
Nobody would have been able to
spotless.
prove anything.
And I found the item he used to wipe them clean in the nurse's office trash can.
Or you could have like taken the glasses and instead of throwing them away, hidden them. Where is it? This. I always think it's fucking X to use it and
was
it's
a
triangle,
glasses
and that
cleaning
fucks me
cloth
up every
featuring
time
a
because I'm
certain
not good with
cartoon
shapes.
mascot.
That's just a joke, I know
One
shapes,
look
but
at the
I
blood
pressed the
stain on
wrong
the
button
cloth
so I
should
turned
make
it into a
things
joke,
clear.
because I'm very, very daft.
This piece of cloth was used to wipe Hifumi's glasses clean.
That thing looks like a fucking anthropomorphic cupcake,
And the mascot
and it
on the
freaks me
cloth
out,
is the
and I don't
same
like
one
it.
that's on the digital camera, right? And whose digital camera was it?
That also freaks me out.
Hifumi's, of course.
The character
That is
was
not something I'd want to look at, because I'm
Princess
probably gonna
Eagles.
fucking think about it later when I
some
sleep.
demon angel pretty pudgy princess, I think.
I highly doubt anyone but Hifumi would have brought something like this to school.
That's a point I definitely agree
I
with.
see your point. And the only people here who wear glasses are...
Byakuya,
I
Toko.
wouldn't be caught dead using a tacky piece of garbage like that.
No, I definitely agree with
A
him.
few tissues is all I need to keep my glasses clean.
I'm sure you used those tissues for something else as
Then
well.
there's no question. It belonged to Hifumi.
I'm not sure exactly what, but strike me as the type that would need a lot of
What you're
Kleenex.
saying is,
What I'm saying is, the blood on his glasses was wiped away using his own glasses cleaning cloth.
So who else would have had access to his cleaning cloth besides him, unless somebody went into his pocket and cleaned his glasses?
Even if that is true, it does not mean he wiped the blood off himself.
But who would benefit from a clean pair of glasses other than the glasses owner?
That's a good point.
then it must have been him, right?
So let's assume that Hifumi was still alive in the nurse's office.
Or the murderer could have murdered him and wiped the fucking blood off of his glasses to fucking,
He
you know,
pretends to be dead. Then
cover
when
up for
he's
evidence.
alone,
But like
he
I said,
wipes
why
his
not just
glasses
get rid of the
clean so he
glasses
can see.
entirely? But now I realize you wouldn't be able to do that. Actually, you would if he was in the repository, but you couldn't get rid of the glasses until then. So after you kill him in the repository, then she should have
Then he
taken his
stands
glasses.
up
And
and
then if
walks out on
Makoto
his
couldn't
own
find
2
the
feet.
glasses to prove that they were clean in the nurse's office or whatever, then you can't really, or in the repository, then you can't really use it as evidence, can you? Because you don't have the glasses, right?
And with that, the impossible task of moving his copious corpse becomes possible.
Did you
Wouldn't
really have to say copious just to rub it in? Although I have made fat jokes like the past like 20 minutes, 25 minutes,
But then,
talking about pancakes
he
and
was
God knows
just
what else.
pretending to be dead.
Me being a bit of a hypocrite, if I'm honest.
What was with all that blood? Was it paint or something?
No, it was blood.
The fridge in the nurse's office contains packs of blood for emergencies. He probably used one of those.
He figured if he was gonna play dead, he should go all out, so he just dumped it everywhere. But he got crazy with it and had to wipe his glasses off when he was done. God, what an idiot!
And if Hifumi was still alive at that point, the disappearance of Taka's body is easily explained.
Yep, he moved it.
It should be perfectly obvious who must have moved Taka's corpse.
Taka himself,
got it.
yeah.
It could only have been Hifumi.
While we were all gathered in the nurse's office,
Yeah, see, if
he
I
went
was
to
gonna
the
kill
equipment
anybody in this
room and
scenario,
took
my
Taka's
number one
body.
target would have been Taka.
That
I'm
also
honest.
explains how the door to the repository.
Everybody
got
else is pretty cool, but Taka would have fucking got on my nerves and pissed me off.
The door was
Although I
locked.
wouldn't have shown that to everybody else, because then it would have been obvious who killed him, or
Well,
people would have suspected
after the
me very
bodies
easily.
disappeared,
So it's like,
we all went looking for them, right?
just
So
saying
me and Sakura
hypothetically,
headed
if I
to the
were to be in this
repository.
scenario, he's who I would have went for if I were to kill somebody. But
But when we got there, the door was locked.
And the repository door can only be locked from the inside. Which means When
This game is
Hina
cool.
and
I'm enjoying
Sakura
going
got
through
to
the unraveling.
repository,
Well, I've pretty
someone
much
was
spoiled it
already
because, like I
inside.
said, I played it for myself. But honestly, if you want my honest opinion, if you're interested in the plot of the game and the premise of the game, instead of watching somebody play them for yourself. It's so much more of a worthwhile experience. It's entirely different to like feel through it instead of watching it happen.
He convinced us all he was dead. And when he saw his
Because
chance,
you're not
he
like
dragged
interacting
Taka's
with the
body to
characters, right? So it's like you're
repository.
watching somebody else interact with the characters, so you're not like putting pieces together yourself. I mean, you are when you watch somebody play it, but like
Hifumi
you haven't
wasn't
talked to
just
the
another
characters
victim in
yourself
this
and like
case.
haven't connected with
He
them
was
on
one of
any
the
level.
assailants.
So it's like it's not as impactful, and it's not as good of an experience unless you play it yourself.
But that
If you get what I
means he took part in the murders.
I just can't
So
believe
if you
it.
want to like watch a bit of this game to learn
If
what it's
you're
about
having
and then go and play them
trouble,
for
would you like me
yourself,
to
I
show you
recommend
one
doing that
more
instead.
piece of evidence?
There's more?
I've already completed V3, and I'm probably going to go back and stream V3 again at some point, just so I can do all the voices
The
again,
single
because it's so
biggest
much
fact
fucking fun to
pointing
do
to
the
his
voices.
involvement has
Which is
yet
why I
to be
wanted to play 1
revealed.
and 2, because I really want to voice
You know
Gundam
what I'm
Tanaka,
talking about, right, Makoto?
because I
The
can
item
force
he
my
took
voice
off
to
of
be like
Taka's
really
lifeless
deep when I
body.
want to, and Gundam has like a very... He has like a very deep, but at the same time, very like outrageous voice. It's pretty awesome. Could it be the note? Yeah, it's gotta be the note. Where is it? This? I don't know if it's the scrap of... No, it's not the scrap of paper, is it?
I got it!
Yeah, oof.
You're talking
Jesus.
about the note Hifumi had
That was a
hidden away,
50-50
aren't
shot,
you?
I'm not gonna lie.
Hidden note?
That's right. We found it stuffed in his pants.
What? In his pants?
Yes, his pants.
I love how she says, his pants.
Okay, well...
Says
forget
case
about
3.
the
How many
pants for
cases
now.
are there? There are
Take
6,
a look at
I
what the
believe.
note says.
There's 6 chapters in any Danganronpa game, and the 6 is always like where the story like ties together and they figure out like who the mastermind is and all that bullshit. So like 6 doesn't really count as like a trial IMO, but it's more of a story like based thing, like an explanation, if that makes any sense. And case 6 is usually where you learn like the plot twist and all the fucking crazy bullshit that you don't know about. That's all like subliminally thrust in your face. Like, things will have more meaning than you thought they did, and, like, they do a really good job of elaborating and, like, preying upon, like, certain thought patterns of people and stuff like that, if that makes any sense. Like, they manipulate people really well. How the story's plotted out, like, how they make it.
Ah, that's the note I was telling you about. The one that told me where to go. Huh? Wait, this one's a little different. In my note it said...
I can't really read, so...
Monokuma can't
I
find
kinda
out,
just,
so
like, went
don't
to a
tell anyone
place,
else
and then
for
some
now.
stuff
Let's
happened,
meet in the
and
rec room at
then
1
I got a
a.m.
burger and a shake, and then...
I see. Then this note isn't the same one Hiro got.
Nope.
It's not the same?
In other words, the killer got in touch with another person besides Hiro.
Must have been Taka, because he's the only other
And
person
that
who's
person
dead.
could only have been...
Hifumi's pants! That person could have only been Hifumi's pants. Yes.
That's right.
I
Taka.
believe I figured it out.
The killer used
Must
this
be.
note to drive
New World
Taka
Order
and
plays
murder
when I
him.
fucking select the pants, because it's like revealing some huge fucking plot twist. That'd be hilarious,
Over
wouldn't it?
here! Objection! Objection!
No, not from you, you fucking daft idiot.
I don't really understand what's going on, but Hifumi had that letter, right? So whoever wrote it wasn't drawing out TikTok, they were drawing out Huffy!
Unless Huffy was involved and he fucking stole it so they wouldn't fucking suspect him.
Just to be clear, TikTok is Taka.
I do
and
like how she
Huffy
gives
is
everybody
Hifumi,
nicknames, so that's
right?
rather clever. And it's a little bit funny. I like that a bit.
Yes! Why must you ruin it every time?
Man, Genocide Jack is seriously scary, but still, I can't let her get to me.
Broken wristwatch? Maybe? Because this has got to be about time, doesn't it?
Huffy had the note, right? Then the person it was intended for must have been Huffy!
Nope. I don't think so.
But remember what the note said. What time did it say to me?
Fuck you! Are you serious?
6 a.m., I believe.
How many times did I shoot that?
The time doesn't
3?
matter.
4?
The note has nothing to do with TikTok!
Yeah.
No, that's
Nice.
wrong.
Thank you, context. Jesus, saved me then.
No.
Sometimes it's
there
worded very
absolutely is
weirdly,
a
and
connection.
it's like very precise the way it's worded, and it's worded in a very specific manner, so you have to use something else, if that makes sense.
The note said to meet at 6 a.m., which is the same time Taka was murdered.
Yeah, see, I forgot about that detail. I don't pay attention to shit like that, even though I
You've
probably
already
should.
proven
And it's
that
probably
using
what
his
gets me so
wristwatch.
fucked in these sometimes.
But there's more.
Especially Trial 3
Look
of
where the
V3.
note
Trial
says
3
to
was
meet.
so dumb. Some of the logic in that doesn't make any fucking sense whatsoever.
The equipment room, right?
Yeah, Trial 3 was fucking stupid.
Which is where Taka was killed. I see.
Seriously, Trial 3 of Danganronpa V3 is really fucking poorly done. It's a cool idea,
So,
but it's done very
Taka was
stupidly.
murdered at both the time and place.
It's a cool
written
idea,
in
don't
the
get me
note.
wrong, but like I don't think it would work how they describe
I think
it,
that
and
should be
there's
plenty to
something
show
that
this
happens that
note
would have
was
been very
definitely
obvious
meant for Taka.
in a real life scenario. And they're usually really good at thinking that shit through, but Trial 3 I feel like was just like an idea that was, hey, this could be cool, and they're like, yep, do it. And they didn't like think logically about how like this wouldn't make any fucking sense. Because usually how Danganronpa trials work is there's like a detail that like
Then someone used
it's
that note to
apparent,
trick
so you get an
Taka.
idea, but then it
Just
has
the same
like
as me.
another use or something like that, like for something else,
The culprit
and that
really
ties the
is a
whole thing together
cold-blooded
or
monster.
something like that,
Tell
and
it,
you don't
people, they
realize it
found
at
a
the
way
time because
out.
you just are, you know, speculating at that point.
But if they
Pretty much.
gave the note to Taka, what was Hifumi
Honestly, White Shadow,
doing
if you want to play these for yourselves, I would definitely watch you play through these because it's so fun to watch people do these blind. Like I said, I already know this one,
Most
and I know
likely,
the second one as
Hifumi
well,
stole
so
it
it's
off
not going to be
Taka's
as
corpse after he
entertaining. But
died.
V3 was really fucking fun. I enjoyed V3 a lot.
He stole it?
Where's your proof? Go ahead. Show
Like
up.
I've said it before, if they ever make like memory suppressant or something like that, or like memory wiping technology, like where you can go and like pay to have your memories like fucked with, I'm going to like do that and play these games all over again. That's got to be the ripped piece of paper, yeah. Yeah.
I got it!
There we go. Yeah,
When
so
I
if they
searched
ever make
Taka's
like,
body,
I don't know if it's
I saw
possible
that his
scientifically,
lifeless
and I
hand was
probably just
gripping a
sound like a
small
fucking
scrap of
dozy
paper.
idiot, but if they ever make like
If I'm
memory
right
wiping
about
technology
this,
or like memory
the sheet of
suppressant, I'm
paper
definitely
this
gonna
piece
play these
came
over
from
again.
is-
The God of War series, I would play over
I
again
knew it.
in a heartbeat.
It fits perfectly with the note we found hidden on Hifumi.
What else?
Then Taka's scrap.
Dark Souls, I'd probably
and
play over again.
Hifumi's note.
Yeah, they're that good. It's like one of those experiences you can only have blind like one time,
Yup.
truly. And
They're
if you
from the
spoil it
same
for
piece of
yourself, it's
paper.
over. Like you can't see it the same way, if that makes any sense.
Hifumi had the note meant for Taka.
Like
while
you can only
Taka's
truly
corpse still
experience it
grasped
one
a small
time. It's
piece
one of
that
those.
note.
That's why I get really pissed off when
There's
people
only
spoil
one
shit for
way
somebody
to
else. Like
explain it.
Weddy was doing V3 and he was trying to think of what gifts the characters liked. But I didn't
Taka
see that
died
as like a
clutching the
spoily
note.
thing, so I kind of just
Hifumi
told him. I
tried
was
to
like, oh,
free
this
the
character
note from
likes
his
this, and the
death
chick
grip.
you're going for likes this. And he's like, oh, now I can't pretend I didn't see
Leaving
that.
behind only one
Fuck.
small
And I was like, oh,
scrap.
like, was that a spoily thing? And he's like, yeah, I usually kind of try and feel it out for myself.
Did I
And I
get
was like,
all
oh,
that
sorry, I
right?
had no idea. Like, I felt really fucking bad. Because, like, I feel
That
like I
means
kind of robbed him
Hifumi
of
knew
that
the note
experience
was
because I
important.
didn't think it to be something that important. So, like, I kind of just
Exactly.
told him.
Which proves that he was an accomplice
And I felt
in
like
the
an
murder.
asshole for it.
Whoa.
But, like, I obviously didn't have the intent to spoil him, right? So it's like,
After seeing all this,
are there any similar games
Hifumi
to the
was
series?
super involved in this
Not
whole thing
quite
for
like this
sure.
game. There's games where you have to, like, do the same thing and point out,
In
like,
fact,
inconsistencies and, like, holes in
he
testimonies and
was
shit like
behind
that,
the
but
whole thing.
nothing
In
does it
fact,
quite like
he's still
Danganronpa does it,
alive.
which is why I like the game so much. And, like, the art style and the sprites and,
Sorry,
like, the premise
no.
of the game and all that, it's super good. It
When
all,
we found
like,
him in the repository,
the soundtrack,
Hifumi
the
was
art,
truly and completely
the
dead.
way they, like, use the music in certain places, the
second
revelations
body
when they
discovery
hit you,
announcement proves
the
that.
story plot twists when they hit you, like, it's just, it's so fucking
then-
good. But the creator of this is
Hifumi?
currently taking a break from Danganronpa, and V3 is, like, the most recent release, and it came
Whoever
out in, like,
did is the
2017,
master
though I don't know when.
The true
So
killer.
V3 is actually, like, pretty recent. V3 came out, like, a little more than 2 years ago, I think.
He was killed in the repository.
And,
So
he's
he
currently
must have
taking a
been
break
killed
from
not
this
long
series,
after
but I hope he
transporting
comes back
Taka's
to it at some
body.
point. Because he's working on something a little bit different called
So,
Death March
he
Parade,
must have
and
been
I don't
killed
exactly know what
after
it's about,
Taka's
or if it'll
body
be
vanished,
similar to
but
this in any
before
way.
we found both
But
bodies in the
because I like the game so
repository.
much, I'm definitely willing to give it a shot and check it out.
During
so.
that time, we'd all split
Hopefully
up
he
and were
comes
searching
back to
for Taka's
Danganronpa
missing
though.
body.
There's one Danganronpa game that I know about that is not like these ones, and
In
it's
other
called
words,
Ultra
during that
Despair
time,
Girls, and I
none
don't
of
like
us
it
have
very much.
alibis.
Like, compared to this, I like this style way fucking more. It's so much more interesting and cool to me. And it's a lot more of an experience that I would enjoy. And I don't even play visual novels, like, I'm not into visual novels and shit like that, but this game does a really good job of getting you attached to, like, different characters, and then in a fucking heartbeat, you can wake up the next morning, and then your favorite character will be dead on the floor, and you'll be just, like, devastated. And then, like, your other favorite character would have killed that person, or, like, it pulls so many mindfucks, man. It's so good. Like,
the weapon they used to
especially
kill
Chapter
Hifumi.
2 of V3. Chapter 2 of V3 fucking pissed me off. I almost quit the game because of it. But I knew it was too goddamn good to not play through. Yeah, it's called Death March Parade. Apparently it's about, like, an underground water park. Or, like, it's like an underwater amusement park with, like, a clown or something, but, like, that's all I know. And, like, the kids are very young in it. That's the only info I know about it. I don't know when it's coming out, but it should release in, like, 2020, I think. And I don't know what kind of game it's gonna be. Like, I don't know if it's gonna be like this at all, but, like, it'll probably take certain elements from this and add it to the game, if I had to guess.
So if Hifumi was killed in the repository, the culprit would have had to grab one of the hammers, kill Hifumi, then put the hammer back where they found it.
Yeah, but I'm pretty sure you can, like, reuse assets from this game and, like, nobody would notice, so, like... Let's see, Danganronpa 1 came out in, like, 2010 or, like, 2009, maybe, I think? And then Danganronpa 2 was released in, like, 2012 or 2011, something like that. And then V3 was released, like I said, in 2017, like 5 years after, so it's like... If we were to get another Danganronpa, I think it would come out in, like, 2023. If we were to get, like, another one, but I don't know if we're actually gonna get another one, but I sincerely hope we do.
I'm surprised. It seems
Because the ending of
some
V3
semblance
is
of a
very,
brain
like, up
knocking
in the
around
air.
that skull
Like,
of
I don't
yours
know if they're gonna
after all.
continue the series or not. And I don't know
Hell
if
yeah,
Spike
it's
Chunsoft,
back in
like,
there
has the
good
authority
and
to be
tight.
able to continue the series without Kazutaka Kodaka's
He's
permission,
right,
because
though.
he, like, owns all
I
the...
don't understand it
He owns all the
either.
characters and, like, the premise and, like, the
The
fucking
Monokuma
characters and
file makes it clear that
stuff
they
like
were
that, so, like,
killed
I don't know if
using
they'd be allowed to
similar
do it without his
instruments.
say-so. But he might sell it to Spike Chunsoft, like the property or something like that,
But
and then
if
they can
the
do whatever the
hammers
fuck
were
they want with
already
it.
laying around
But
those other rooms.
I don't want it to change from what it already is, and, like, if it does change, I don't want
So
it
the
to change
question
very
is,
much,
How
if
could
that's
the
the case.
culprit have gotten their hands
Like,
on
these
either of
games
the
are perfect
hammers?
as they are. Like, they honestly don't need changing.
Personally, I haven't a clue.
So which hammer was used to attack Celeste? Number 1 or number 2?
Those were accounted for in other rooms too. And I don't think either one is big enough to kill someone.
Then...
Yeah, but it's called Death March Parade, I think is what it's called.
Is it not possible?
I'll do some
they used a
research on it
different
after so I
weapon?
can talk about it better next time I'm on, but...
I don't think it is possible. They were both killed with the same kind of thing, right?
So then, what was used to kill Hifumi?
The wooden mallet that was wet. The whole picture surrounding this case won't become clear until we figure that out. God damn it, it has to be another fucking bullet thing? I couldn't just say this wet hammer that was obviously washed. I have to contradict somebody with the hammer. That's really annoying. Oh well.
What was used to kill Hifumi?
I'm not
Was it
contradicting that.
Justice Hammer 3?
No.
Maybe Justice Hammer 4?
No.
Well, whatever it was, there's one thing we have to figure out. How was the culprit able to move around so freely with the weapon? How did nobody witness them carrying it?
Sounds like a Justice Hammer 5 is about to make its appearance! Check out murdergear.com/hammertime for more info!
Well, one thing seems pretty clear. The murder weapon had to be one of the Justice Hammers.
Yep.
No,
I
that's
think
wrong.
fuck Hero's so stupid and he words things so particularly that I can pick it apart very simply.
The murder weapon wasn't a
Otherwise I
justice
would have been
hammer at
shafted and
all.
fucked.
No, it was something completely different.
But, seriously?
Yeah, it was a different weapon, but it wasn't a different type of weapon. That's why I said, instead of using another hammer, they should have used, like, something like a fucking spear or, like, something sharp or
Specifically, a hammer from the
poison or
repository.
something like that.
The
That
killer
would have been a
could
better
easily
option,
use
but...
that to kill Hifumi. Now, all the hammers in the repository were covered in flecks of grit and debris, but for some reason, one of them had been scrubbed clean.
Huh?
Why put the hammer back up there? That's what I don't understand. You
And the
could have hid
reason
the
it had
hammer.
been scrubbed clean was most likely because it was used to commit murder.
Yeah, if you were gonna use a weapon to commit murder, what would you rather do? Would you rather use the weapon and then fucking clean it and put it back where you got it? Or would you rather hide it or go and like shove it in a trash can like somewhere far away or something
If the
like
hammer
that?
got
Like by
covered in
hiding it or
Hifumi's
something
blood,
on your person.
Of course they'd
Like
have to
Hifumi
clean
has
it
a
off.
backpack, I think. They could have used Hifumi's backpack, but they would have been wondering why you
I'd
had his
also like to
backpack, I
point
guess.
out that the repository has all kinds of hammers. Big ones, small ones.
Yeah, but I can guarantee you there's at least like 6 spots in this room that'd be very good to hide like one of those hammers
And
or something
even
like
some
that.
flat mallet-like ones.
Like, even you could have used like a tool that like loosen one of the floor panels and then hide it under
I
the
think
floor or
whoever
something.
made
That
the
would have been
Justice
very
hammers
smart.
used those as a basis for their
Nobody
design.
would know like one of the floor panels was loose or something like that. Nobody would
If
notice
that's
something
true,
like that.
that would explain the Monokuma Files note about the wounds being similar.
So Hifumi
But like I
moved
said, they have to
Taka's
do it in a
body
way
to the
where you can figure it out,
repository,
otherwise it
where
wouldn't be
someone
fair,
then
I
used
guess.
a hammer to kill him.
But like I said, Trial 3 of
Whoever did
V3 is
that
very
is the
dumb and it
true
makes no
killer.
sense. There's also
The
part
one
of Trial
Hifumi was
2,
working with.
the way the murder
the
was
one
set
who
up, that
betrayed
doesn't
him.
make any sense. If you think about it, like, physically.
Hold on a moment.
Like, if physics
I
were to play a
still
role
think
in that,
it's
it wouldn't have
strange to
happened
assume
like that.
Someone was working together with him.
Like I said, they usually think that shit through really well, but V3 is a little bit out there.
The way the graduation
In some of the
rule works,
murders. Like, some
there
of
is no
them are just like
benefit to
normal, but
helping
like some of them
someone
don't
else
make any
carry out
sense
the
at certain
murder.
points.
So the idea that anyone would work together like that is simply ludicrous. We talked about this, did we not?
We did talk about how there wouldn't be any reason for anyone to work together. At least that's what we thought at first, but...
Yeah, there is a reason to work together, isn't there? I'm using Spotless Hammer again? Why would I have to do that?
Based on the rules that
This
have
must
been laid
be
out for us,
this must be like a thing I
even
have to
if
like
more
soak
than
up
one
and use
person is
against them or
complicit in
something.
the murder,
Like one of those
only the
reminisce
one who
bullets or
actually
whatever the fuck
carried
they're
out
called.
the act
Remembering
can
bullets? I have no idea.
graduate and survive. Assuming the
flashback
rule
bullets.
holds true, it is simply impossible that two people work together on this.
I don't think I'm using
That
that.
is how the rule was explained to us.
But that only really applies if there's one murder, right? In this case, however, there were two murders.
Alright, so I think I'm using 2 murders against what Celeste said.
Can we really say there's no chance two people work together on
Based
this?
on the rules that have been laid out for
Yeah,
us,
well, given the circumstances,
more than one
Hifumi was
person is
involved, so there had to have been an
complicit in the
accomplice, right?
only the one who
Because if we've
actually
already
carried
established
out the
Hifumi
act
had to have been
can
involved,
graduate
then...
and survive, assuming the rule holds true.
There we go.
No, that's wrong.
Perfect. Easy. Look at that. Simple. This game is a lot easier than the other ones, I gotta admit.
Since there were 2 murders,
2 has a
it's at
thing that
least
doesn't make
plausible
sense
that
to a lot
more
of
than
people
one
regarding a
person was
swimsuit.
involved.
But I feel like that's because people are dumb and they don't, like, make a very simple connection that would make it very obvious.
What do you mean?
Like, think of it this way. If you were to take a potato sack or, like, a bag and
If
fill
there's
it with
only
stuff,
been one
you'd
murder,
have a heavier
then yes,
bag, right?
The idea of an accomplice
So
isn't
it's like
really
if you
worth
take a
considering.
swimsuit that you can tie, right, just like a bag, and you
Naturally,
can fill that
if only
swimsuit
one
with
person
something,
can be
it'd be
saved per
heavier,
murder,
wouldn't it?
An accomplice has no risk.
So it's like,
versus
I don't know,
reward
that's
benefit.
not difficult for me to think of, but maybe other people wouldn't jump to that, like,
Risk
idea
versus
as easy as
reward
other people would. I don't know.
The payoff for working together. The
Are
reward
the
that
plot
balances
twists, are
out
they
the
well
risk of
done? I like
taking
plot
part in the
plot
scheme.
twists that blow my mind. Oh yeah, this is definitely a game that you should play for yourself then. I'm just gonna say it right now.
There's no
Definitely.
point in being someone's accomplice
V3,
if
oh
there's
my
no
fucking
benefit to
god. There
you.
was like 7 or 8 plot twists in V3, like all in a row. And it fucking destroyed me. Like I was
However,
speechless
if
for
there
like
were
minutes.
some potential mutual
There were
reward
multiple
for the
times where I
risk,
dropped my
then
controller in
cooperation
disbelief.
becomes
Like,
possible.
honestly, when I first saw this game, I thought this game was a mindfuck because I had the right idea from the beginning, but I didn't have any evidence to support it. So, like, I didn't think about it for a while. I thought about it at first, and then I just dropped it because I moved on to another topic
think
or another
that's what the
subject,
true
and then I
killer
forgot
told
about it
Fumi.
entirely.
They would each
And then
have
it
an
came into play
accomplice
way
for their
later.
crime.
So it's like, yeah,
And
if you want
based on the
mindfucks
case's
and plot
events,
twists, like, think of the movie
Fumi
Saw.
would have been the first one
but-
to act, murdering Taka.
Yeah, think of the movie Saw. Like,
They
this
made
game
him
is a
carry out
perfect,
the first
like,
murder, so he couldn't
comparison
back out
to
of
that.
helping them later on.
So in this case, there wasn't one single person committing multiple murders.
Yeah, it was 2 people committing 2
Instead,
separate murders.
each person killed someone,
Yep.
creating 2 separate incidents.
Yeah, it should be heavier, exactly. So it's like, if you take a plastic bag and you fill it with stuff, obviously the plastic bag is going to be heavier than a plastic bag, right?
Designed it to look.
So, like, if you take something that could be used as a bag, right, hypothetically, and you filled it with stuff, the same law would apply, right? It would be heavier because it has stuff in it. Yeah.
Disappearing bodies.
So, like, go outside and take a plastic bag, and then go and put a bunch of rocks in that plastic bag, and I can guarantee you the plastic bag you're holding is going to be heavier because it's filled with rocks, right?
By creating one seamless set
Same
of
with the sack of
circumstances,
potatoes. You
they
can
made
have a
it look
potato
like
sack with
one
no
person
potatoes
was
in it,
behind
and it's
all.
just a sack for potatoes. But if you put potatoes in it, it's a sack with potatoes in it, so it's a heavier sack, right?
And managed to convince him to go
It's very
along with
simple
their plan.
logic, so I don't understand why it's fucked so many people. Like, I don't get it. Maybe it's
And
the
then
way
to
it's
avoid the no
worded or
accomplices
constructed
rule,
or
they
something that
simply
fucks people up,
killed
but
their accomplice.
I don't know. It was the first thought that I fucking had.
Which, if true,
Because there was no
means
other
that
murder
betraying
weapon, and I was like,
Hifumi
okay,
was
well,
part
why
of
would the
plan from
swimsuit
the
have come
very
into play?
beginning.
What's the point of the swimsuit? And then I was like, ah, maybe they filled the swimsuit with this, or whatever. That would make sense. Because then you could use it as a blunt instrument, and that would match how the person was killed. That makes perfect sense.
You think so?
And then everybody
I
else
can't
is like,
help
oh,
but
that's
admire
stupid.
its
Why would you
cunning.
use a swimsuit like that?
Still,
It's like,
their choice
because
of
that's what
accomplice
was available at the
odd.
time. It was convenient in that regard. The effort made to convince us the 2 murders were the same? That was the main characteristic this time. Kyoko must have noticed that fact from the very beginning, which is why she said not to look at this as a series of connected events, but entirely separate incidents. Kyoko really is amazing, although, when you think about it, she's almost too amazing. Yeah, you gonna go sniff her bed sheets next? Freak. Like, it's almost unnatural how good she is at this.
I understand how an accomplice could be involved.
Yeah?
but
Maybe
then
because
who
she's
was
a
the one
detective, you
pulling
fucking
Hifumi's
idiot.
strings?
Although they don't know that, but as soon as I saw Kyoko, I was like, yeah, she looks like a fucking detective if I had to guess.
That's problem numero uno
She's
right
a
now.
detective, by the way. The true killer manipulated Hifumi to carry out a number of actions, and in the end, murdered him. In the debates up till now, the way the case has unfolded, when you consider all that, there's really only one person who seems to fit. I'm so sorry, wifey. I'm so
Here's
sorry.
my answer.
I have to convict you, otherwise we all die.
It
So.
was Celeste.
Ah, so I'm the suspicious individual now, am I?
Yep.
I really do hate this kind of joke.
A joke? I wonder.
So what you are saying, then, is that I specifically chose to work together with Hifumi.
Are you guys ready? I hope you are. Buckle the fuck up, because it gets good here in a second.
The idea that I would choose to spend any amount of time interacting with him, that I would go within 10 feet of that shit from brains, that lazy, worthless, goddamn idiot! Pardonnez-moi.
Just to be clear, there is
Awesome
evidence
character
to
break. I
support.
fucking love her when she's angry. Fucking sexy as
Is
fuck.
that so?
It is. Throughout the investigation,
She's
there was
she's
certain
entirely perfect
behavior that
waifu
was
material
common
for me,
only to
honestly.
the two of
She
you.
really is.
Considering what we've learned so far,
For girls
it
I
only
like anyway.
further proves that the two of you were working together.
What is it that only Hifumi and Celeste had in common?
Encountering the suspicious prick in the suit, in the Voltron suit.
The behavior they had in common has to do with the suspicious individual in the suit, doesn't it? The only ones who ever actually saw Robo-Justice firsthand were Celeste and Hifumi.
Shush. The adults are talking now.
Sorry.
Why would you apologize?
As
I'd be
he
like, fuck
said,
you, prick.
only Celeste and Hifumi ever laid eyes on the costumed individual. If we accept that Hifumi was one of the culprits, we can't help but suspect what Celeste has said as well.
Are you saying everything they told us was a lie?
After taking Hifumi to the nurse's office, we all began our search for
Yep,
this
and
individual,
who
correct?
suggested we split
And
up?
Not too long after that, do you remember what Celeste said?
I saw a shadow, something moving around at the top of the stairs.
We headed to the second floor specifically because of what she claimed to have seen. Next, to draw us all to the physics lab up on the third floor,
Yup.
She let out a blood-curdling scream.
and when we'd all come to see what was wrong, what was it she said?
Celeste, what's wrong?
That was a rather intense scream for someone like you.
I saw him. He's a strange costume man. He ran off as soon as I screamed. I was blocking the stairs, so he headed further down into the hallway and disappeared.
Once she'd done her job of getting us all up to the physics lab, it was time for her partner to get to work.
Yup.
Huh? What was that? That came from downstairs. It must have been. Hifumi, he's in the nurse's office. This is bad. Come on, we have to go back.
It was to get us to divide into 2 groups. So that we would discover both bodies at the same time?
See, I gotta admit, Celeste plotting this out was smart as fuck, but like I said, she made 2 very critical errors.
In fact, Celeste was precisely the one who proposed that we split up.
Then why don't we split into 2 groups?
I'll lead the hunting party. That seems much more interesting.
Very well. Then Makoto and Hina, you come with me to the nurse's office. I will leave the capture of the suspicious individual to Toko, Byakuya, and Sakura.
Well, if Celeste and Hifumi were working together, all those
See, most people don't like hoity-toity, fancy, like, rich, pompous bitch girls, but, like, Celeste is an exception for me.
And on top of that,
because she has class. She's not like a pompous rich
on.
bitch. Like, she actually has class to her. And her character break is fucking fantastic.
That was to signal Hifumi, wasn't it? It was your way of
I don't know, I wouldn't want a
We're on the
girlfriend that was like
3rd floor.
completely
Everything's
lovey-dovey
going
with me
according
all
to
the time.
plan.
I'd want a girl that gets pissed off out of me. You know, like whenever I fuck
Why
up and like
else
puts
would
me in
you
my
let out
place
a
when I do
scream that
something
could have
wrong.
carried across the sea?
I don't know.
I just
Something sexy
realized
about that
another
to me.
strange
Anyway,
thing.
I don't know. Maybe
When
that's too
we
much
found
info.
Hifumi
But
in the nurse's office,
now you
who
know.
we now know
And you
was
can't
only
forget it.
pretending to be dead.
No matter how much you try, it's something you know now. So,
I certainly was not expecting this. I did not imagine that Hifumi would be murdered.
Celeste, you were the first one to say he'd been murdered. You wanted to make sure we wouldn't have any doubt in our minds.
I don't believe it. Everything. The whole thing
yep,
was one
pro.
big act.
Absolute pro. Seriously.
Hina, you were with Celeste when Hifumi's body disappeared, right?
And then Celeste fucking took her to the fucking bathroom so
Yeah.
Hifumi could fuck off.
I was feeling kind of sick, so Celeste took me to the bathroom.
And you two played hoity-toity with each other, didn't you?
Then that was...
Yep.
She wasn't worried about you. She just saw a chance to help Hifumi sneak out of the nurse's office.
Each piece isn't
I like how
much by
Makoto just
itself,
says bluntly,
but
like,
start
yeah,
putting
she
them
didn't give a
together
fuck
and
about
the
you.
Picture gets very
She just took you to the
ugly
restroom
indeed.
for her murder plan to go into effect.
Wouldn't you agree, Celeste?
I have no idea what you mean.
Don't bother trying to deny it. You made one fatal mistake.
Multiple.
Oh, did I?
I also love how they're accusing her of murder and she's just sitting there like,
I have no idea what you're talking about.
I didn't even catch it myself when you first said it, but looking back, I can say that that one little slip-up was your undoing.
What are you talking about?
see, this line right here that they put in here is never said in the game. Like, you never read this ever. So, like,
I'm
I don't know where the
talking
fuck
about
they
what
pulled
you
this
said
from.
after
but-
Hifumi's body disappeared and we returned to the nurse's office.
Oh, wait, yeah, she did say this, actually. Never mind. I'm full of shit.
They must really be enjoying this. Enjoying the sight of us standing around frightened and confused. We're all going to die here. We're going to die just like those guys died.
I remember her saying that too, but I don't understand what's so strange about
My
it.
god, Sakura's so fucking daft.
Then pay attention.
Look at Kyoko, she's like, how
Sakura,
could you be this
Toko,
fucking
and I were
retarded?
first to discover Taka's body in the equipment room.
Right.
Then Makoto showed up and told us Hifumi had been killed. So Sakura and I left with Makoto. Once we were in the hall, we ran into Celeste.
Also, I really
and
love
the four of
Byaku's
us headed
voice.
to
His
the
voice is
nurse's
so
office.
fitting for his character.
Now,
It's like, it's
the
not
entire
douchey, but it's
time we were
condescending
together,
as fuck.
None of us said
You know what I mean?
anything about Taka
Like, it's
being
perfect
dead.
for his character, I think.
Think about it. Celeste's comment doesn't make sense. It was completely out of place.
Wait.
Yeah, I see what you're talking about. Although I don't really get what it means.
Hero, dum 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 dum
You
dum.
hear that, Celeste? Everyone's having some trouble understanding. Could you repeat what you said? If you're really not the culprit, you shouldn't have any problem repeating it, right?
Byakuya said that Celeste's comment doesn't make sense. But what is he alluding to?
See, this is what drives me up a wall, is there's no way the characters would remember exactly how they say certain things. So that's a bit retarded. I'm not going to be using that file here. I'm going to be taking something that they say
All
and using
I
it against
said
them.
was, they must really be enjoying this. enjoying the sight of us standing around, frightened and confused. They must be positively elated. We are all going to die here. We are going to die.
See, no,
Like those guys died.
I forgot what the button was to suck it up. Whoops. So,
And that is
I
what
honestly
said.
don't know why she would have said
And
anything
that's
that
all
could have
it
been
takes
used
to
against her
fix it.
later.
It's
She could have
obvious,
just
isn't
used
it?
the fucking
What was so
Miranda rights
strange about
approach.
Celeste's comment?
Oh, what? Am I not contradicting him?
Shoot!
Oh, I thought... Oh, okay. I'm fucking
All that
retarded.
said,
Fair
well,
enough.
They must really be enjoying
I thought it was
the
going to be
sight
like
of
an
us.
agreement thing,
We are
like,
all
yeah, I
going to
agree
be
with
going to die.
Byakuya. That's very
And
weird
that
that
is
she
all
would have
I
said that
said.
at that
all
point.
it takes. What was so strange about Celeste's comment?
Wait, am I supposed to... Oh, maybe
All
I'm
that
supposed to
said,
take
we
what
must really
Byakuya said and
enjoy
use it against
the
what
sight
she
of us. They
says
must be-
to draw
we are
attention to
all
the
going
fact
to
that
be
it's
going
strange
to
so
die.
everybody
And
gets
that is
the
all I
idea of
said.
what he's talking
That's
about.
all
Maybe
it
that's what
takes
it is.
to finish this. It's obvious, isn't it? What was so strange about Celeste's comment?
Yes, Seal White Cop. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you in a court of Danganronpa where you have to persecute your waifu for fucking
I
killing
said
two characters
was-
that you don't give a shit about. That you
must
gladly
really
trade
be
their lives
enjoying
for her
this.
because she's so fucking sexy and
Enjoying
beautiful
the
and
sight
amazing.
Of us standing around, frightened
Put the
and
bananas in the bag. Why
confused.
bananas?
They must be positively elated.
See, if I was a cop, I'd be like, put the
We are
donuts in the
all
bag.
going to die
I'd be
here.
like, I don't have any donuts. I'd be like, go buy some donuts
We
and
are
put them in
going
the
to
bag,
die.
you fuck.
Just like
Those guys died.
Yeah, there we go. Okay.
Milk is
I had the
small.
right idea. Alright. Fair enough. I had to take what Byakuya said and use it against her. Fair enough.
That's right.
That made sense.
There's no reason Celeste should have said, just like those guys died.
Yeah, because Hifumi wasn't dead yet.
When she said that, none of us had told her Taka was
This
dead.
cop likes bananas in particular? Okay. Oh, it's a monkey! Oh, okay, I see. It looked like... I mean no offense, but, like, it literally looked like a pile of shit. Like,
Exactly.
holding
And
a
we didn't
yellow,
run
like,
into her
eclair
until
in a
after
police
we were
hat. That's what
all
it
out
looked
in
like
the
to me.
hall.
That's why I said donuts.
So there was never any chance for her
Like,
to
it
have seen
looks
his
like
body
a
in the
fucking
equipment
yellow
room
eclair.
for
Like, you know,
herself.
filled with, like, filling and stuff like that. And it looked like, you know, a piece of
So
shit
how
with,
did you
like, a
know,
police hat,
Celeste?
so.
How
I
did you
don't know.
know more than one person?
If you
was
don't zoom it
killed?
in, it seriously does.
And
You
how
can't
did
tell
you know
me it
they were
doesn't,
both
because it totally
guys?
does.
Because Kyoko had also disappeared, right?
Which
So
is
she
why I
could
might
have been
start
dead
zooming in my
too.
emotes a bit more so people can see them a little bit easier instead of like trying to make them out when they're super small.
You all have such vivid imaginations.
Monkey-based
you know that?
Pico emotes? I see. Oh, okay, that explains the eye style and the mouth.
Imaginations.
Makes perfect sense. Yeah, see, like, I don't draw like that. I like to draw in a lot more detail, so, like, all my emotes... Like, if you take a look at all of my emotes that I've done, like these three, I put a lot of detail into them, but, like, to see the detail, you have to, like, hover your mouse over them a little bit.
You claim
You can
that
still
I
make
was
out
lying
what
when
they
I
are,
told you about
but
the
like
suspicious
if you want to like
person I
see the
saw.
detail for like real, you have to like zoom in over them with the mouse.
Then what about the picture I took?
So yeah, like
How
for
do you
people who
explain
don't know,
this
I've made
picture of
all
the
my
costumed
emotes
villain
except this one.
dragging
If
Hifumi
you guys
away?
don't know, and BB Mercy did this one for me. My S emote. BB Mercy did that. Dude, I honestly can't draw. I cannot draw without reference. Like, every time I make an emote, I literally have to look at a
has to be some
pre-existing
kind of
image
setup,
to get an
right?
idea of what to draw, otherwise I can't visualize a single fucking thing.
So let's
If that
put the
makes any
suit on.
sense. Like, I cannot draw without reference.
Then she used the camera's timer to set
Like,
up the
like think of
picture.
it as, like... You know when you play a Zelda game, right? And you learn a song, and then it's like, you are too lazy to go into the menu, but you can figure out how to play the song, like how it goes, by, like... just playing the notes randomly, and then putting the notes in the correct order until the fucking song triggers, you know what I mean?
Have
It's
you
kind
so
of the same
simply
thing.
forgotten?
I
You
can recreate a
are the
piece, but I
only
can
one
draw
who could have
unassisted.
possibly fit into that
Yeah,
suit.
I can't draw unassisted. Like, I need a visual reference to look at to get an idea of what to draw. And the reason I have that issue is because I'm very terrible at eyes, number one, and I'm very terrible at proportions. So, like, I can draw if a face is looking straight at me, but if a face is angled, I have a lot of fucking
Plus,
trouble.
I happen to
And
know
I'm trying to
that
teach
this
myself how to get
particular
over that
camera
hurdle,
does
because if
not have a
I
time
could,
mode.
I could draw a hell of a lot better. And I could have a lot more freedom to draw whatever the fuck I want.
In other words, it is an
Finish no kill, no
unassailable
detection
fact
for
that
Dishonored.
this
Congrats,
is a
Ian.
picture of Hifumi being dragged away.
Very proud of you, buddy. I know you must have
Everything
worked
I told you
tirelessly
was
at
a
that. We're
lie.
almost done with the trial,
How
by the
can
way.
this picture exist?
Simple.
Again, I'm not
Are
paying
we
attention,
sure
I'm just talking
that's really a
bullshit, because I
picture
already
of
know
the
how the story
suspect
goes.
dragging Hifumi away?
What could you possibly mean by that?
Yeah, like, I cannot draw faces unless they're looking straight at me. If a face is looking dead at me, I can draw it almost exactly how it is, usually.
Surely there are other
Maybe I
explanations
might fuck
than
up the
one
sizing
you've
of the
offered
character, or like I'll fuck up some of the shading or something
No.
like that. Like,
There is no other explanation.
if I were to compare the reference in my version to it. But like, if something is looking straight at me, I usually have a pretty good idea of like what I'm doing. Only took 7 or 8 hours? That's pretty good, man. Like, is that just the one attempt you got, or is that like multiple attempts?
If it wasn't a picture of the suspect dragging Hifumi away,
The only other possibility is Hifumi and the suspect have been drinking? No. Hifumi and the suspect are dancing? No.
I got
I
it!
think it's the middle one.
It's not a
Straight
picture
up is
of the
fine, but
suspect
anything
dragging
profiled, then it's
Hifumi
trash,
away.
yeah.
I would say it's a picture of
Like, I can
Hifumi
literally
dragging
show
the
you an
suspect
image of
away.
something I tried to draw from an angle, and it'll look like autistic shit, but like... If I, like, showed you something I drew that's, like, looking at me, it'll be a lot more
certainly within the
impressive,
realm
if
of
that makes a lot of
possibility.
sense. Or any sense. Like, here, for example, like,
The one being
I'll put
dragged
up
off in
something
that
I finished
picture
last
isn't
night. Like, I
Hifumi,
drew this last
but the
night.
person
I was
in
in
the robot
somebody's
suit.
stream, I can't remember who it was, but, like, I was in somebody's stream, and I drew this last night, and I just finished it.
We've simply
I
been
made
led
an
to
edit
believe
to the
that
hair,
it's the
like
other
that
way
little
around.
shine that I put in the hair. I did that today, like before I started streaming, just because I realized I'd missed it. But that's how good I can draw if I have a reference and something's looking straight at me. So even if I have a reference and something
And
is
the
angled, I
strange
still
costume
can't
might
draw it for
only
shit,
exist
even if
till
I
it
have a
is
reference.
astray even farther.
Like, I can do clothes and shit fine, but like, when it comes to the face, I fuck up where the eye is supposed to be, and I can't draw
If you
eyes
saw
very well to
someone
begin
wearing
with.
something like that in this situation,
So it's like,
of course you'd notice and be suspicious.
I can draw like really good if like something's looking straight at me, but if
That's
something's
what
at an
happened.
angle, it
You put me
completely
to
fucks
sleep
me
and
up.
made me
Like,
out to be the bad guy in all this.
oh no, I'm terrible when things are drawn at angles, even if I have a reference. That's why if you look at all my images, like nothing is drawn at an angle that I've drawn, like literally. And
Such
I
a
don't do
thing.
backgrounds, because I can't do backgrounds for shit, because like perspective, I really struggled with.
Is utterly impossible. Hifumi was dragging him away? Ridiculous.
Is it? I don't think it's ridiculous at all.
Then shut your mouth and allow me to educate you.
Oof. Yes, please.
Celeste thinks she can prove that there's no way Hifumi was dragging the suspect away. But is that really possible?
I don't know. We're probably gonna have to fucking call her out on some bullshit, if I had to guess. Am I using the costume or the blueprints? Because it can't be Yasuhiro's
You
message.
dressed me up in that suit after I passed out. Then
Okay,
you
it
just
can't be
dragged me
that.
across Hifumi and had him carry my weight. You tried to make me look like the bad guy.
Like I said, ridiculous.
Also, trying to frame a murder on
As you can
Yasuhiro
see
just
in
because
the
he's
picture,
stupid, like,
the
makes you look
suspect
really
is standing
obvious. I'm just gonna
perfectly
say that.
upright. If the person inside the suit was unconscious, there's no way they could stand up straight like that.
Nice.
No,
Fucking, that was a fucking shot and a half. No pun intended. You draw a lot, but most of it is drawing maps and stuff. Why, if I may
No.
ask? Like, why maps
Even
in
if the
particular?
person
Like, do you
inside the suit
design
were
for games or
unconscious,
something, like
they
as a
could
career?
still stand
Or like
up like
what?
that. Because that Robo Justice suit had a
Speaking of
certain
career, I still
characteristic.
can't find work here. Like, I applied to a job. You study cartography. I don't know what that is. Like, I know what, like, graphy is, you know, like, in terms of, like, oh, paleontology or, like, geography. It's, like, the study of, like, a particular field, but, oh, map making, okay.
That's right.
That explains a lot.
They totally made a
I
mistake
see.
when they made it, so it couldn't
Oh,
bend
so
its
you must do
waist.
that for, like, school or something, if I had to guess, now that I think about it.
I'm not so sure that was a mistake. I think the suit was designed
Oh,
from
yeah.
the beginning to be
So, like,
used the
I
way it
applied for a
was.
job at a PetSmart that's local to me, because apparently they need somebody to, like, stock shit in the morning. And I'm like, oh, anybody can stock stuff, you don't need a lot of experience for that. That'll be easy. Like,
Celeste and Hifumi took the
for
suit
people who
they'd
don't know, I'm
specially
pretty
designed
fit. Like, I'm
and
not,
stuck
like, super
Hiro into
muscly,
it.
but I'm fit, right? So it's like, I'm very thin, and I can do physical labor, like, for 7 or 8 hours a day, no problem. So it's like, I was like, yeah, I can do that.
That's how they were able
Waking
to
up early
fake
in the
that
morning
whole
is going to be a
thing.
pain in the ass, but at least I'll have a job. So it's like, I applied, and they said they desperately
The point
needed
of it all
workers,
was to make us
and
believe
it's been like a
whoever was
week
in
and
the
a half,
suit
and they
was to
haven't gotten
blame.
back to me at all. So it's like, literally the place I live in, like, the unemployment rate is ridiculous, job availability is very, very slim, and it's like, they literally won't hire just anybody, and it's like impossible to get entry-level work around where I live, so it's like I'm kinda just fucked in my living scenario. Like, I live with my grandfather, but he turns 80 on, like, the 17th, so in 2 days he turns 80. So it's like, after my grandfather dies, this is gonna sound really fucked up here for a minute, but it's real. Like, after my grandfather dies, I'm not gonna be able to live in this house anymore, so I'm gonna have to figure out some other place to live. So I don't know what the fuck is gonna happen after that, but... It's really serious, because, like, I spend all my time playing video games and just, like, fucking around and sitting in my room or going outside and doing whatever the fuck I want, but I wouldn't mind working, but, like, I can't find a job.
What do you mean, checkmate?
Also, character break, by the way.
Clearly, you want to cram me into your little guilty box. Well, there's
Fucking
one
awesome character break.
little
She's super sexy when she's mad.
Have
But
you already forgotten what Hifumi told us as he lay
I
dying?
would work a job, but like I said, I have very bad social anxiety and shit like that. So it's like, I don't want to work fast food, because I don't know if you people know this, but fast food fucking sucks. Like, customer service in that regard is so bad to work. You get all sorts of shitty people who are impatient and just, like, impose upon you. And, like, fucking, they can turn your good mood to shit in, like, 2 seconds. Like, it's depends. Exactly, you refuse to work anything food service. See, like, I don't want to do it, because it's not, like... I know you can't be picky about work circumstances, right? Because you need to work to make a living so you can survive, right? Like, I understand that aspect of it, but, like, my point is, like, I have such bad social anxiety, and I get pissed off, and I'm so impatient that if I were to work food service, I would literally end up fucking socking a customer in the face. Like, that's literally how frustrated I would get. And it's like, I'm not gonna put myself through that mental agony just to make a fucking living. I'd rather do something else that I could, you know, mildly enjoy. So, for those who don't know, I used to work at a pizza restaurant. I worked for a Little Caesars, and it was actually really, really, really easy work. So if you ever need money, look for a Little Caesars to work at, because, like, I never had to work the register, and I hardly ever had to talk to people, like customers, except to be like, hey, like, nobody's available to take your order right now because I don't know how to work the register, but my coworker should be here in a minute. If you tell me what you want, I can get it started for you early, so it'll be ready sooner, so you won't have to wait as long from the time you place your order. And that's, like, the most I ever had to do besides taking phone calls, and phone calls were simple. So it's like, if you're ever looking to make some quick money, work at a Little Caesars, take my word for it, it's the easiest fucking job you'll ever have in your life.
He did say
The only time it gets really frustrating is when you have customers that are assholes, like I said, or you have coworkers that don't do what they're supposed to do. And, if I had any advice for somebody who wants to work a job at Little Caesars, stay on top of the dishes and do the dishes as often as you can, so you don't have to do as much later when you get out, because you do not get paid overtime when you work at a Little Caesars, which is really shitty.
What do you mean by that?
So stay on top of the dishes and you'll have a much easier time.
Hifumi used to talk to us.
Good night, heading off to bed, have a good night. You too, White Shadow. Hopefully I'll be able to see you soon. I might pop in your stream. Like I said, depending on what you're playing. Even if you're playing something I'm not into, I might just, like, come by to chill for a bit to keep you company or something. He said people's last names.
I got it!
See, I'm not paying attention, but, like, I know all the answers, so it's like I'm getting everything right anyway, even though I'm not paying attention, so...
Exactly.
Usually my memory
I
is
heard
shit,
him
but,
say
like
Mr.
I said, I know
Nayagi
this
more
game
than
pretty
once, for
decently well.
example.
I have a pretty good idea of what happens and what goes on.
So if Hifumi did mean to say Hiro's name...
Yeah, but it's like, I'm looking for a job where I live, but like I said, the
correct.
job market is really bad, and they don't hire just anybody, and the job availability is very scarce, and the only thing that's available is like working at McDonald's or Burger King, and I refuse to put myself through that.
First name.
And it's not because I think I'm better than everybody, and like, oh, I shouldn't have to work fast food, that's not what I'm saying, but like... I would not be fit for fast food. Like, I'm not good for that kind of environment, you know what I mean? Like, I do not work like that. I do not function like that. It would be very, very difficult for me, and it's not an environment I would enjoy working in, if that makes any sense. I applied to work at a gym and a GNC, and I was told by both that I wasn't the type of person they were looking for, so I asked them to elaborate, and they said based on my resume, I wasn't a driven individual. See, I could work in a gym. I could work in a gym perfectly fine, because, like, I have all sorts of knowledge about, like, body mass index and, like, dieting and shit. Like, I don't need to diet, so it's useless info to me, because, like, People don't know
But
this,
he
but I
must
have a
have run out of
ridiculous
energy before
metabolism.
he could say any
Like,
more.
I can eat whatever the fucking hell I want, and it won't make a shit of a difference, like at all. Not in, like, my body structure. Like, I won't get fat, I don't gain weight, and I
So
don't lose it.
Hifumi was trying to
It's
tell us
probably
the
not
last
healthy
name
for
of
me to
whoever
eat
killed
and
him?
drink the way I do, but I do,
The name he
because,
said
you
doesn't
know,
apply to anyone
fucking...
here.
Well, no.
That's me in a nutshell.
There's
I'm basically an English
There's
person,
one
but like
person it could apply to,
I'm about as K-Kona as they come. Like,
and that's Celeste.
literally,
She
let me
never
tell you guys a
actually
story.
told us what her real name is.
My ingenuity is through the roof, and let me tell you how. So I'm gonna take a break here for like 2 minutes to explain this story, because I don't want to like multitask for this. So, I was having Burger King the other night,
What did you
and I
just
dropped
say?
one of my French fries in my ketchup, but like I didn't want to pick the French fry out with my fingers, because like, I don't know if you guys have ever done this, but if you just eat ketchup by itself, it's fucking disgusting. I don't know what it is, but I don't like tomatoes, but I love ketchup, but I don't want to eat ketchup by itself, right? So it's like, fuck, I really want that fry. Damn, that would have been a really delicious fry. And I just sat there and I looked at it for like 7 seconds, or 10 seconds, and I was like, shit, you know what? So I took 2 more fries, right? And then I used the 2 fries as chopsticks to get the 1 fry that fell in my ketchup. And it was the most fat-ass K-Kona fucking thing I think I've ever done in my life. And I just sat there and I was amazed at myself and also disgusted at the same time.
Whether to laugh or spit.
Because it was just... It was amazing to me how fucking
Enough with your idiotic blather.
smart I was to be able to get that fry. You know what I mean?
Do I look
Like,
like
it's
a
the most
loser
fat-ass
to
fucking
you?
K-Kona thing I think I've ever done in my life.
Well, do I?
No, you look like a sexy, sexy gothic princess.
I think I've earned the right to be a little on edge.
Okay, then fill us in. What's your real name?
I just found it weird that they judged me based on my resume. If they had actually met me, they'd have realized I'm pretty good, damn fit, and driven. I'm training for the Marines, for God's sake. Yeah, see, like, something I've always wanted is, you know those, like, obstacle courses they use in, like, soldier training and shit like that? I really want one of those. Like, if I ever have, like, a big house or something like that, I want either a mini version of one of those, or, like, if I ever own a huge property, like,
Make sure your
under whatever
earholes
weird
are
circumstance, if I ever become a
wide
millionaire,
open
and, like, I have kids or something, like, that's how I'm gonna keep my kids in shape. That's how I'm gonna keep myself in shape. I'll just run through one of those, like, 2 or 3 times a day.
Stop making me repeat myself.
And that's how I'll
over
exercise and
and
keep
over
myself in
again.
shape. Because, like I said, I'm pretty fit. Like, I'm not super muscular, and I'm not super, super strong, but, like, my reps, I lift 50-pound weights. So it's like, I use disc weights, like dumbbells and shit like that. So it's like, I keep myself in good shape, but I eat and drink like crap. But like I said, that's because I don't need to diet. Like, I don't get fat. Like, I don't lose weight and I don't gain weight. I'm just 160 pounds. I've been 160 pounds ever since I was like 14, so... But I think that's honestly, like, a lot of muscle mass. Like, because if I look at the average, like, what the average male usually weighs compared to my, like, BMI and my body type, like, I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be. So it's like, I don't need to do any of that crazy dieting shit. I just don't need it.
Celeste still won't give up, so then I have to do something to make her accept it.
You lift and run a lot, about 30 miles a week with heavy weights and high rep body weight days. 153 pounds? Yeah, see, like... You do all that and you're like 153 pounds, so I'm pretty much in the same bracket as you, and I don't run a lot, but I walk everywhere.
Was trying to tell
Unless
us
it's like
something.
really far, and then I'll take a bus.
He wanted us to know the killer's last name. Yasuhiro.
So it's like, if it's really far, I'll take a bus, but if it's like within 20 minutes, like walking distance, I'll just walk it.
You, Celeste. You haven't told
Like, if I have to
anyone
go
what
somewhere
your
that takes like
real
half an hour to
name
get to,
is.
I'll fucking walk there. And I usually just listen to music or something like that. And I listen to a lot of metal, so people are usually scared when they see me, because I wear nothing but black, and like, I walk
long
around
do you
like
plan to go on
screaming metal
pretending?
music, so people are probably horrified by me when I'm walking outside.
It's the truth.
How tall am I? I am like 5'10",
You have no
or
way to
5'11",
contradict
I
me.
think. E-handbook, shut up.
No, that's wrong.
Yeah, I'm like 5'10" or 5'11", so.
That's
Walk
it.
everywhere on campus,
The
so I just wear a
handbook.
heavy, like, 45-pound backpack during. You're 5'9"? Yeah, I see.
What?
Yeah, so if you're 153 pounds and I'm 160 and I'm
Anytime you
like 2
turn your
fucking inches
handbook
taller
on,
than you, that would make
it
sense for
shows
the
the
difference
owner's
right
name
there.
when it boots up, right? Monokuma told us all about it before.
I like how I'm, like, my waifu is about to be convicted of murder and I'm just like sitting here talking about nonsense.
This handbook is absolutely vital to a healthy school life, so don't lose it. When you start it up, it will display your name. Always make sure you have the right one. Now, this is not your everyday notebook, and it has so many more uses than that.
So all we have to do is check her handbook, and that'll clear up everything. That's how we can find out Celeste's real name.
That's an invasion of privacy. I refuse to cooperate.
Celeste, can you please just tell us what really happened? Please. Just tell us.
She murdered people, obviously. Well, she murdered one person.
Even when I'm put in check, it's just my
The
nature
other person
not to
murdered
give
the
up.
other person, but she did kill somebody.
Because...
All the wonderful things she does.
Until the game's over, you never know what might happen.
Fine then.
Just kidding. This
Let
isn't
me
the Wizard
settle
of Oz.
Let me go
Maybe it
over
is.
the case again, from the beginning, and shed light on all
I think
your
I'm
crimes.
gonna fuck up so much.
And that'll bring everything to an end.
Or she could just fucking come, you know. It is pretty good, but Bryce Pappenbrook sounds like a little bitch, honestly, in this game. How did the killer recruit their accomplice? Was it seduction? I don't know what I'm doing. Am I supposed to, like, put him here? I guess I'll put him there for now. Time did the killers call their victim to the... what? That'd be 1 in the morning, right? So this is 1. So that'd be that one, right? Because this is the wristwatch. And that's a clock. Was it that the killer summoned first? That would be Yasuhiro. I think. Okay, so this would be the one where he's getting... Wait, what? Knocked him out, then stuffed him into the robo-justice suit to falsify their evidence, and they used a certain item to do it. Oh, that would be the, whatchamacallit? What? Oh, I see. The camera. Alright, fair enough. Understand. Time was Taka supposed to head to the equipment room? That would be the wristwatch, I think. This is Justice Hammer 4. Given the image. The wooden mallet was used on Hifumi, so here's 4, so that goes there. Hifumi used something to fake the fucking blah blah blah, that would be the second Justice Hammer, I think. Right? Justice Hammer was in the Nerf's office when he was pretending to be dead, so that's gotta be 3, right? It's the only one left, I would assume. Fumi used something to move Taka's body. That would be the tarp or the dolly. It's one of the two. Okay, it's gonna be the picture of him, like, moving the fucking thing. Fair enough. And this is gonna be the wooden hammer, right? I think I pretty much have this sussed.
Here's
yeah.
exactly what happened.
Hopefully I got it right.
Before
Voice
anything,
acting is pretty good in
the
this
killer
game. Yeah,
persuaded
Bryce
someone to
Happy
help
Bracky is a
carry
little
out
bit
the
of a
murder.
bitch in this
And
game,
that
which is why I
person
make
was-
Makoto sound like a puff, but Nagito's voice is way cooler, I think. Nice, I got it right. Fantastic. I think I sprained something in my upper back. That doesn't sound
With an
very good.
accomplice,
Might want
the
to
killer
relax
was
for a
able
few
to
days then,
execute
if
a
you
number
can.
of otherwise
Might be carrying all
impossible
that weight
schemes.
around. Might be what done it, honestly. Like, I don't know what it is, but I
They
don't
convinced someone to
typically
meet them
injure
in the rec
myself.
room last night at 1 in the
I
morning.
used to when I was a kid. Oh my god, I was a reckless kid. Like, I would skateboard all the time and like I would
That
fall
someone
over
they
and like
met
get
with
hit by
was
cars and
Hero.
like fall off buildings and shit. Like I was a fucking wild child.
The murderous
Honestly,
duo
was.
intended to
I took a
pass
piece
Hero
of like
off as the
razor
prime
wire
suspect.
into my thigh one time
So
and
when
that
they
hurt
met
like
up
fuck.
with him-
That was not fun. I don't know if you guys have ever been stabbed by something, but it is not the most fun thing in the world. It's pretty painful. Especially when it goes through
They
like layers
drugged
of muscle and then it
knocked
hurts
him
like
out,
absolute fuck.
and
but-
stuffed him into the robo-justice suit.
I think it's better to get stabbed like... I think it's better to get stabbed like deep than it is to get stabbed like
Hifumi
slowly.
positioned
Like if you get
himself to make
slowly
it
stabbed,
look
it's like you have a lot more time to
robo-justice was
process
attacking
like it's happening and be focused on it. But like If it just
Well, the
stabs you
killer used
deep
a
all at
digital
once, and
camera to
then,
take
like, it's
pictures
just
of the
immediately
assault.
over with, and you're just like, ah, that fucking hurts, and
They
that's very
did all
unpleasant,
this
and I don't like
just
this.
to create
It's, like, a lot
evidence that
better.
would put the suspicion on Hero.
I don't know.
When they were done with
But,
him,
like, my leg got
they
caught
shoved
in
him,
razor
still
wire, and it, like,
unconscious,
dug
into
into
the
my
pool
leg,
room
and then I
locker.
shifted my leg trying to get out of it, but I shifted my leg the wrong way because I misjudged where I got stabbed at. And it, like, sliced
And
it
then
down my
finally,
leg a little bit,
at
and it was
6
just
a.m.,
not fun.
They moved into the
Fucking hurt
murder
like shit.
phase of their plan.
Although, I was on the roof of a school doing parkour,
They
which is
called Taka
probably,
to the
like, illegal.
equipment
That's
room.
probably why they have the wire up there, so... It's my fault. Like, I'm not blaming the razor wire for me getting stabbed for being a fucking idiot. That's my fault, but... I've done it before,
That's
but,
where
like,
Ifumi
one of
killed
these
him,
times during
making it the
streams,
scene
I'll
of
go
the
over
first
all the
murder.
injuries I've had in my life, like, all the major injuries, and you guys will, like, understand how much
The
shit I've
murder
been
weapon
through.
was Justice Hammer 4, which
And it'll
was
be an
left there in the
interesting
equipment
story.
room.
And I'll explain, like, each of the events and why they happened the way they happened
The
and
reason
stuff like that.
Hammer
It'll be
number
fun.
4 was used was to create confusion
I'm
about
one of
the
those
order
people
the
that,
crimes.
like, have been through so much shit that I should have died, like, 6 times over throughout the course of my life.
So,
And I'm just, like, miraculously
next they
somehow still
falsified 2
alive, like,
more
I'm one of those
assault
people.
incidents.
Had a variety of injuries like that,
For
barbed
these
wire knives,
attacks,
among other
the
stuff. I
killers
don't think
pretended
I've
to
ever,
be
like,
the
stabbed
victims
myself with
to
a knife, but I've
solidify
cut
Robo
myself before,
Justice as the
definitely.
suspect. The first fake incident was the attack in the
Like,
rec
whenever I
room.
chop vegetables, I'm afraid that I'm
There,
gonna, like, cut my
the
finger
killers
off, but
wanted
luckily our
us to see
knives are pretty
Justice Hammer
dull, so
1
it's like I never
and
have
the
to worry
Robo
about that kind
Justice
of a risk.
pictures they'd taken. They wanted to make sure we
Like, if I were
fought
to
the
cut an
surprise
appendage off, it
attack
would have to be,
story.
like, deliberate. You've been stabbed by others?
The second fake incident
What kind of
was the
situation were you
attack
in
the
to, like,
library.
put
This
yourself
time,
in a position
they
to be
planted
stabbed by
Justice
others,
Hammer
if I had
2,
to ask?
and an injured
Like, did you
Hifumi
take somebody's
to sell
last
us that
cookie or
story.
some shit? Like, there was a time when I was in school, and there was this kid that used to
These
pick
two
on me
incidents,
when I was in
the
elementary
killers were
school,
able to
or in
create a
primary
certain
school.
preconception
And,
in our minds.
This kid picked on me, like, every day.
That the
And
suspect
he had,
was
like, no
increasing the
reason
size
for
of
it.
the
Like, I don't know what his
hammers
problem
and
was,
attacking
but he
people in
fucking hated
order as
me.
they did.
And every day, I would show up to school, and I would sit down in my chair, because he was always in his chair before I was, because his mother was, like, the type that, like, would always get him to school really fucking
We
early,
fell right
so
into
he was
their
always,
trap
like, punctual
and
on time
started
and shit,
looking
so
for
he
the
was always, like, the
suspect
first
based
one
on
there.
that. But
So he was always there before me, and he had a chair right behind me, like, his desk was placed right behind mine. And every day, when I would sit down, all throughout class, he would just kick my fucking chair.
while
Like,
we did that,
you know
he
school
left
chairs, how
Hifumi
they have the
alone in
metal
the nurse's
legs?
office.
He would just kick it endlessly. Like,
This
he
was
just did it, like,
exactly what
every, like,
Hifumi was
minute.
hoping for.
Literally, of every day. He would just kick it. I don't know if it was, like, a habit, or, like, he just enjoyed doing it, or he did it to piss me off.
He
But,
took
like,
the
literally,
blood
like,
packet
no
from the
fucking joke.
refrigerator
This is
and
how I got
Justice
kicked
Hammer
out of my
3
elementary school that I used to go to. I used to go to a school called Violans Elementary.
and turned the room into a
Um,
crime scene.
I
in which he
literally
himself
took
had apparently
a
been
pair of
brutally
scissors
murdered.
one day, and I was just sitting there at my desk, and I took the scissors from school the previous day, and I put them in my backpack, and I brought
He
them
let out
home.
a scream
And,
to
like, I
draw us
prepared
back.
them the next day, and I was
when
sitting
we
there on my
returned,
desk.
that's
And
what
like
we
I said,
found.
because he was already there, he didn't notice me have them out, and I was sitting there at my desk, and
Meanwhile,
next time he kicked
the
my
other
chair,
group that
I
had
literally
been out
sprung
searching
up from my
found
seat,
Taka's body
and I
at the same
stabbed him in the
time.
hand with that fucking pair of scissors I had, like right in the middle of his hand. Like, I literally slammed my damn,
when we heard the
like, I
body
slammed my
discovery
hand down as hard as I could,
we
and I
naturally
stabbed him in the
assumed it was
hand
for
with that
Hifumi.
pair of scissors. And, like, he recovered, of course. Like, it wasn't, like, a fatal injury or anything, but, like,
We left
it
the
put a
nurse's
hole in
office,
his fucking
and
hand, you know what I
Hifumi
mean?
once again took advantage of the situation.
Like, I literally poked a hole in his hand with a pair of scissors. It didn't go all the way through his hand, but, like, it reached, like, halfway through his hand, and there was a hole
He
there.
simply got
And,
up
like, he was
and
bleeding,
made
and
his
they took him to
escape.
the nurse, and they called his mom, and they called my parents and shit like that.
When we
And
learned
I
his
got in a
body
lot
had
of fucking
disappeared,
trouble, obviously.
we all rushed
And of
back
course
to
my
the
parents,
nurse's
like,
office.
asked me why I stabbed him in the hand with the scissors, right? And of course I got kicked out of school,
And once
right?
again,
Like, I got
Hifumi
expelled for
had
that
the
shit.
chance he was waiting for.
And I explained to
time,
them that, like, this
he
kid
snuck
kicked
into
my
the
chair
equipment
every
room.
day, day in, day out, day in, day out. And they're like, so you stabbed him in the hand with a pair of scissors? And I'm like, well, I tried talking to the
Taka's
teacher, and they
body in
didn't
the
do
tar
anything about it. I
and
told them
used
this
the
kid was
dolly to
pissing me
move it
off, and
all
they
the way
didn't care.
down to the
And they're
repository.
like, oh, just ignore it. And I'm like, here, when you're trying to teach a class, let me just fucking down the chalkboard with, like, a fucking nail or
That
something, and let's
explains
see if
how
you get
each of
annoyed
the
by it.
bodies disappeared.
Let's see if you can just ignore it, right? So, like, the teacher literally literally did
But
nothing
even
about
if
it to
Fumi
stop it.
didn't know what the
And they were
true
just like, oh,
killer
just
had in
ignore it.
mind for their
He'll stop
final
doing
act.
it. He's just being childish. Don't worry about it. And he never stopped, so I stabbed him in the hand with a pair of scissors.
Their plan all along was
That
to
kid
kill
never
Hifumi
fucked with me again.
and get rid of the one
Not that he
person
got
who
a
could
chance,
betray
because
them.
I got expelled, right? So it's like, I haven't
And
seen
they
that
did
kid
it
since.
using an
But his name was
ordinary,
David, and he was a
everyday
fucking
hammer from the
prick. And I
repository.
hated him so fucking much.
That should cover everything that happened in this case. And the villain behind it all
So yeah,
is...
it's a weird story from my school life. Like, given that though, when I was younger, I was a lot more irritable, and I was a lot more senseless than I am now. So it's like, when I was a kid, I was a lot more, like, angry, and like, I had a reason for that, but it's like, it's not that it's personal, but it would take a very long time to explain, and I've explained it before.
Celeste! Sorry, you lose.
Yep, sorry, waifu. Waifu's dead this chapter, unfortunately.
I lost? I lost? When was the last time I was forced to utter such words? They hang heavy around my neck.
Then you admit it? You're the killer?
Well, duh.
Listen to you, trying to take charge, as if you're my private instructor. I, Celestia Ludenberg.
Is that like...
No.
Is that some, like, sexual bullshit? Like some
Taiko
sexual abuse in there
Yasuhiro is
somewhere?
fine.
Because that's a bit... Ooh. Like, that's a bit Japan.
Keiko?
So, you finally accepted it.
I'm the kind of person, once I've lost, I don't like things to drag on.
Interesting.
Yeah, see, her regular voice is really sexy. Her, like, Frenchy voice is also kind of sexy. Like, I don't know. She's just sexy altogether, honestly. And there we go. I got an A. That's pretty good. I don't know how much I fucked that trial up.
I'm
but-
ready to begin. Or, no, I suppose this is the end, isn't it?
For you, maybe.
It is indeed the moment we've all been waiting for. Time to vote. Okay? Okay.
Yeah, but that's just, like, a little bit of a background on
If
me.
you
Like,
would,
when I was a kid, you
please
didn't fuck
locate
with
your
me.
lever
Like,
and cast your vote.
I got really pissed off when I was
And
a
when
kid.
the votes are tallied,
Like, kids were legit
who will
afraid of me
become
when I was a
the
kid.
blackened?
But, like, I wasn't all bad. Like,
Will you make the
I used to be
right
one of
choice
those
or
bullies
the
in school that
dreadfully
bullied the
wrong
bullies, if you know what I mean.
one?
Like, I had a
What's it
friend
gonna
named
be?
Thomas
What's
when I was a kid. His
gonna
name was
be?
Tommy. And he was raised by, like, very, like, conservative, reserved Christian parents. So, like, he literally had no flavor of, like, what was considered bad or good. Like, if this makes sense, they divided things into two categories. They were like, oh, this is bad, this is good. And, like, he only did good things. And anything that was considered bad, he just stayed away from. And I'm like, well, that's very ignorant, because not every bad thing that has, you know, like, you can't just divide things into two spectrums and view things like that. It's very ignorant. So it's like, he used to get picked on a lot, and I had this friend named Adam, and we kind of, like, bullied all the kids that picked on him, and all the bullies that, like, picked on other kids and shit. We kind of put him in check.
It's basically a formality at this point, but once again, you're totally correct. The Blackened this time, the true killer who devised the whole stinking scheme was Celestia Ludenberg, or more precisely, Taiko Yasuhiro.
Honestly.
I lost? Well, that sucks. I guess trying to work with someone else was a mistake after all. Hifumi's ineptitude was beyond all my
I
calculations.
knew it.
So you really did approach Hifumi with this plan. But how did you get him to agree? I can't imagine he would have happily agreed to commit murder.
I'm sure she relied on her specialty, lying.
My specialty? Don't make me laugh. I didn't have to lie to get him to agree.
So then,
Then did you use, you know? I knew you'd figure it out, Kyoko. You're absolutely right. To get Hifumi to act as my accomplice,
Indeed.
I used her. For everyone who's still left, I'll avoid mentioning it by name, but it was the one thing Hifumi and Taka were both super into. Does she mean... Is she talking about alter ego?
Say what?
What? What are you talking about?
just a second.
Don't interrupt. We're in the middle of a very important conversation here. I'm totally out of the loop, as usual. How sad.
In other words,
Then you're the one that stole it.
Indeed.
That's right.
I see.
And you used it to drag Hifumi into the plan you'd come up with. Right again. Last night, after we had our meeting about how it disappeared, I paid Hifumi a little visit. What are you doing here?
Oh god, look at his room. Jesus Christ. Fuck my life.
Actually,
I was hoping I could talk to you, alone. It is about what was stolen. I know who did it.
What?
are you okay
It was
with
Taka.
this?
He stole it.
I would have asked her, how do you know that?
So then...
And I have proof. Would you like to see it? As it turned out, I'd found the use for the digital camera. I'd taken you-know-what to Taka's room earlier and took pictures of it there. I deleted the picture as soon as I'd shown it to Hifumi, of course.
Damnation!
So it was him! But how did he do it? She was supposed to yell if either of us got close to her. You are correct, which is why Taka forced me to steal it.
Say what?
As for me...
Please forgive me. He threatened me.
Oh.
He did?
As for me...
He came to my room last night unannounced, and then it's hard for me to even say. He abused me.
What?
And he took pictures. He said if I did not do as he asked, he would show them to everyone. So I had no choice.
Damnation!
That's a crime! An absolute crime!
I'd be like, he's the ultimate moral compass, though, so I think you're full of shit. He wouldn't do that.
I mean, I knew he'd gone a little crazy, but...
Say what?
I never imagined he would go that far! It was amazing how completely he bought it. I can't express how enjoyable that was.
That's the room of a man on a mission? Yeah, to somehow get into the dimension of 2D. Maybe.
I'm about to say something I've never said before in my life. I'm going to kill him! I'm going to fucking kill him!
Most unfortunate.
Wait, please. If you go now, you will be playing right into his hands. Huh?
Actually...
Taka is planning to use her to escape. And he has made you his target.
What?
Escape? You don't mean... Taka is going to try to kill you. What?!
Indeed.
And also he can keep her to himself. That bastard! Bastard, 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 bastard!
Honestly.
Can we allow him to continue with these barbaric acts? Absolutely not! How could I? She...
I swear!
I have to save her!
Actually...
Then would you like to join with me? It just so happens I've come up with a plan. Huh?
I'm like, how did you come up with a plan this quick in that amount of time?
I've devised a way to reclaim what he has stolen and escape this dreadful school.
Don't fuck with Hamster Man's waifu? Yeah, I figured he looked like a hamster as well. I thought other people would come to the same conclusion.
And with that, it is complete. Huh? What are you talking about? Oh, nothing. Hifumi agreed without a second thought. The effect that item had on him was remarkable. The power of love, even a love as twisted as that, can still drive people mad, it would seem.
You disgust me.
I see.
I have another question for you. Was that strange costume Hifumi's creation?
Indeed.
Yeah, it was a real pain in the butt, too. All I asked him to do was make something to hide the face and general body size. I had no idea he'd make something like that, but it's my fault for picking him in the first place.
But...
So, why'd you decide to make me the suspect?
Because you're stupid.
That's it?
Let's see...
And in that regard, I made the right choice. I'm so glad your stupidity surpassed my every expectation. Life must have been tough on your parents, though.
Feel like I could cry.
Well...
But when you were explaining your plan to Hifumi, how did you explain the part about him playing dead? What she's asking is, what was Hifumi supposed to do after that, assuming you would actually let him live?
Are you okay with
That's
this?
simple. After he did his part and pretended to be dead, once someone showed up, I told him to say he'd been seriously wounded. He was on the verge of death, but he just barely held on. And he really believed that? Well, of course, that wasn't all there was to it. As I explained it to Hifumi, the plan was... While you were all questioning him about what had happened to him, I was going to murder someone else. At that point, Hifumi would have an alibi, so nobody could doubt him. I told him that, and he believed it.
It all seems very straightforward, stereotypical.
I just matched the lie to the level of the opponent. In fact, Hifumi ate it up. He believed the lie wholeheartedly right up until the moment of his death.
So in the end...
So you had planned to kill him all along?
But of course. There would have been no point to my plan if the one who pretended to be dead did not end up dead himself.
What the heck?
How can human life mean so little to you?
Well...
That's a non-issue. I simply did everything in my power to win.
Don't be mean!
Now you sound like Byakuya!
I wonder about
No,
that.
he derives his pleasure from the thrill of the hunt. In that aspect, we are nothing alike.
Why?
Then, what made you take things this far?
What the heck?
Was it really just for money?
Hmm.
Are you talking about the $10 million Monokuma offered us? That is a lot of money, it's true. But that's not all there is to it. From the moment I knew life here, my only thought has been escape.
But all along you've been saying how we have to accept living here.
You little
Obviously, that was a lie!
Hey!
I couldn't take it, I hated it from day one! More than anyone else in here!
You
I
little
wanted to get out, every day was fresh torture! And do you want to know why? Huh?
This is fine.
Because I had a dream. And accepting a life here would have meant nothing less than giving up on my dream forever.
Honestly.
And there was no way I could ever do that. In the underground world of gambling, I risked my life to make a metaphorical killing.
As for me,
And it was all for that dream. And what was this dream of yours?
isn't it wonderful?
To live in a European castle. A castle?
Look at her, she is fucking gorgeous.
And to gather handsome men from all over the world to serve as my butlers/bodyguards. I was going to make them dress up like vampires and satisfy my every need.
Oh yes, please.
Once I obtained that, I would have created a perfectly aesthetic world of decadence.
This is fine.
Living the rest of my life there was my only dream, my only goal. So that's what life is all about.
I would have fucking done that in a heartbeat. I look emo enough. You wouldn't even have to color my hair. My hair is black, so like I would have fit right in. Honestly. Just give me the clothes. I'm there in a heartbeat, honestly.
Combined with my own winnings, Monokuma's $10 million would have made that dream a reality. I got right to the edge, but
There is nothing to be done.
unfortunately my dream has been scattered to the wind. Still, I don't have any regrets. I pursued my dream till the very end, so why would I?
Just the worst.
You sound so passionate, but you were really able to kill your own friends for it?
Oh,
Are you asking me to feel guilty? That's a pointless endeavor. I think nothing of sacrificing others for my own ends. I feel nothing.
do you understand?
That's all there is to me. That's what makes me complete. Isn't it terrifying how different our values are? There's simply no room for understanding.
What is this?
That's what we should be saying. And plus, how can you be so calm? Don't you realize you're about to die? Why aren't you scared? My ability to lie is unrivaled, and I take pride in that. It's not just other people, I can even fool my own emotions. The conscious deceives the unconscious. And that's why you're not scared?
Yes, indeed.
That's right, I don't fear death, kill me however you like. But you know, if I could be reincarnated, if I had the choice, then
Isn't it wonderful?
I think I would like to come back as Marie Antoinette.
Hey,
You just get executed again.
Celeste smiled then, and when she did, it looked to me like a poor effort to force it. She claimed she could fool her own feelings, but that statement itself must have been her final lie. And that weak, fake smile is what betrayed her.
Grills, chills,
You all done?
grills!
Okay, then let's get rolling. The blackened disturbed the peace and must pay the price.
Now then, I've prepared a very special punishment.
For her, the ultimate gambler.
Let's give it everything we've got. It's punishment time.
Right, now you're gonna see the really cool part of
I
Danganronpa.
guess I'll let Kyoko hold on to this. What?
This is...
Will it really give you the hope you're looking for? I can't say I ever saw it that way. Which is why... Actually, it's not important. Well then... Take care, everyone. Perhaps we'll meet again. In another life.
God, she's just too pure for this world, honestly. Which is why she's gonna get executed and move on to another one. Nailed it. Easy. Look at that, peasy. Right, so if you guys don't know the shtick of Danganronpa, whoever gets caught murdering somebody else gets an execution that's personalized to their own background and shit like that. So, buckle the fuck up, 'cause it's about to get cool. The burning of the Versailles Witch. I like how the Monokuma has, like, the sack on as well. It's a really good, cool detail, I think. Also, I love the art style of this one. It's very, like, unique to her, like to her background. It's like more gritty and dark than it typically is, which I find really, really cool. Yeah, she gets burned at the stake, which is pretty fucked, honestly. I don't know if you guys have ever seen, like, somebody being burned alive, but, like, holy god, that shit is terrifying. Like, it's fucking horrifying. The music of this one is a bit strange, I gotta admit. Like, with all the ding 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 ding, like all that shit. But, like, it fits her background, so it makes sense. And the ironic part is she gets hit by a fire truck. Dead as hell. So, yep. There you go, Celeste is dead, unfortunately. She was super cool, though. She's easily one of my favorite Danganronpa characters. Yeah, she's super, super, super dead. Right. So that's that.
It's over. The third execution is over. Celeste's death is over. Celeste killed my friend, so I can't pity her, but I also can't deny that at one point I considered her a friend too. And for him to just come along and... Isn't it just awful? Someone couldn't cut free of their regrets from the outside world, and some more people had to die.
Extreme!
You guys are still young, you need to place more value on your lives.
What are you gonna do?
Jeez, and here I thought you guys were gonna pass the torch of hope to the next generation.
Let me out of here!
What do I care about hope? I'll throw it in the trash if you just let me out of here.
Too bad.
You're all the embodiment of hope, whether you like it or not. And it's my destiny to knock you down one by one. It's sad, yes it is, but the reality just can't be avoided. Don't talk like you're not responsible. How long are you gonna make us keep going through this? What do you want from us? God, I'm so sick of people asking me that. Give it a rest already. So, anyway... Kyoko, did I see you get some kind of key-type object from Celeste?
Hey!
So, what's the deal with that?
What?
Huh? What's the matter?
So then,
I'll answer your question if you answer mine.
you...
What did you do? What did you do to me?
Ooh.
What?
Hey,
Answer me. What did you do to my body?
Ooh.
Oh
How
man, oh jeez, oh man, oh jeez. What do you mean, what did I do? I have no idea. I don't know anything about it. What was that just now? The mastermind did something to Kyoko's body? What does that mean?
Hello.
Okay, things are getting kinda awkward. I think it's about time I got out of here.
Well?
Meanwhile, you guys can go on enjoying your school life. If you get lonely, give me a shout. Not that I'll do anything about it, of course.
See ya later.
See ya! Monokuma disappeared, leaving us all depressed and in despair. Although it wasn't all despair. There was one small hope. Hey, Kyoko, Monokuma already mentioned it, but... What's that key that Celeste gave you?
so...
Most likely. It's the key to one of the dressing room lockers.
Huh?
What? Then that means... Celeste probably hid it in there.
Hey,
I suppose sometimes it's easy to miss what's right beneath your nose. Well then, we'd better go check.
Indeed.
Good idea. We left the courtroom and rushed to the dressing room. As we approached the dressing room, Kyoko looked back at us and said,
Hey.
I'm going to go on alone from here. Everyone else head to the dining hall. I'll check in with you later.
What?
Why exactly are you going in alone?
So...
Do you even have to ask? As she spoke, she glanced quickly at the surveillance camera.
Come on.
That's not what I mean. Why you? There's still the risk of a spy, you know.
Then I'll go too.
What?
You?
Please, let me go.
Standing here arguing is just going to draw more attention to us.
Goodbye.
Do whatever you want.
Thank you, Byakuya.
well then.
Then it's up to you now.
Yo!
I'm gonna go to the dining hall, okay?
Huh? So Makoto and Kyoko are gonna go together? Does that mean what I think it means?
Okay.
Good luck, Makoto. Girls like her are total pushovers when you show a little backbone. Tried to forget what Hina said. Everyone headed to the dining hall, leaving me and Kyoko there alone.
Shall we go?
Well, shall we? Yeah.
So then...
We need to get into that locker. Kyoko took the key Celeste had given her and unlocked the locker. And as the locker swung open, we saw...
You really came.
Enjoy the murder panda. We're just about done, Sunshine, but have a good rest of your evening. I'll see you soon. Probably in Casey's chat.
Good morning. It's been a while, hasn't it? It's safe, thank goodness. I'd never heard Kyoko sound so relieved. It was like she was speaking from the bottom of her heart. I did just what Celeste asked. If I didn't say a word, I stayed quiet the whole time.
So,
Oh, and I think I might be able to open the last set of files soon. Maybe as early as tomorrow. I'm doing my best, so please just wait a while longer. So now we can officially say the case is closed. As far as this incident is concerned, sure, but... Can we take a second since we have this opportunity? I want you to be honest with me. Kyoko, please tell me, what are you trying to do all on your own, here at the school?
You...
Is that why you wanted to come here with me?
However...
Regardless, that's not something you need to know right now. I don't need to know? That just makes me even more worried.
What?
Worried? Like what happened during the investigation this time. You disappeared, and we didn't see you again. Without warning, without any explanation. When you do that...
Indeed.
It's only natural that they think I'm the mastermind spy, right? And you too. No! I believe in you.
What?
You believe in me? Isn't it obvious? People believe in their friends, right? That's why I want you to tell me. And I want you to believe in me too. Because we're friends. I understand.
It's true.
Then maybe I can believe in you. Just a little bit more. Then...
That's fine.
Fine, I'll tell you. I'll tell you why I've been disappearing and where I've been going. You see... What I heard from Kyoko then was... Well, frankly, it kind of blew my mind. Right after I'd told Kyoko I believed in her, she told me a story that was, well, almost unbelievable. I decided I had to confirm what she'd told me with my own two eyes, so I waited for nighttime to come. And when it did, I went into action.
Correct.
The boys' bathroom on the second floor doesn't have a surveillance camera monitor in it. And in the storage closet there, way in the back. She said it was way in the back of the boys' bathroom storage closet, but could Kyoko really be right about this?
And with that, we're gonna fucking save it, because it's been like 2.5 hours, I believe. So we're gonna save, and I'm gonna pick up next time, and we'll do some of Chapter 4, I believe. We're not gonna get to the murder of Chapter 4. Or should I say the death of Chapter 4. I'm just saving it multiple times, just to make sure it's saved. And we'll pick up from there next time. I have no idea who the fuck's on, so I have no idea who the hell I'm gonna host, but... I'm gonna host my buddy Gaben, who's playing Hollow Knight, so I'll see you guys there. I'm not really interested in Hollow Knight, but Gaben's a cool fella, so I'll see you guys there. Thanks for chilling out as well. Hopefully you enjoyed my dickery and my bullshit, and I'll see you guys soon. Cheers.